Welcome to the club.
My club are mental, aren't they?
21 is coming. You're chatting gas. Embarrassing. Off, ref!
Most toxic fan base in the world are Arsenal.
Liverpool, the worst champions ever.
This is it. This is it. The whole season comes down to tonight. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to the club. Honoured to tell you that we are joined by the one and only Finton Hand.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Thank you for joining
I just
us.
want to be front row watching Adam sweat. I know that you'll be sweating a little bit, but I feel like it's going to be a long night for Adam.
You know what, yeah? I was saying this weirdly. I'll say it now before they win it, and I sound like a bitter man. But like, you know, in Liverpool playing Real Madrid, I was more worried about them beating them than I am now. And I don't know whether that's because I've kind of accepted that City are going to win it, if it's because the way they're doing it. I don't know what it is, but
I think it's because
City don't bring out that hatred in me like Liverpool do, like Arsenal do, like anyone else.
Do you think it's because of the inevitability? Do you just think that, you know, in any other final, I think most people would say that there's like genuine jeopardy? Whatever
Is it bad
game,
if I say this? Because it's hollow.
because
To
of-
me, anyway.
Why is it hollow?
I love that you started this by saying you weren't going to sound bitter, and we're
Yeah.
already at hollow.
Yeah. It's a
I'm-
pretty bitter word, that. Yeah.
I'm also saying I'm not worried, and we're about to pray to the gods of Inter Milan.
Yeah.
So, please, man.
Do you know what I've
come
managed
through.
to do? I don't know if this is like creative thinking or like creative writing GCSEs, but I've managed to envisage a genuine world in which Inter are going to win.
I don't think it's impossible. I don't think it's completely set. Obviously, Man City are big favourites, and if they score early, I think it could be a super long night and an embarrassing final in terms of competitiveness. But I do think Inter Milan could win.
Do you know what
I can see Big Rom doing one for you.
Oh, mate.
He's got to get on the pitch
Mate.
first.
Yeah,
Do-
late
do-
winner.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Because
Do you know what I was
it's
thinking? Right, we're in Istanbul. It's the same stadium where Liverpool obviously beat AC Milan. That AC Milan team were the Man City of their day. It was such a good team, right? Such a strong team. All of those icons.
Unbelievable.
And Liverpool were fairly uninspiring at the time.
They had Baros up front. They had Jimmy
Yeah,
Traore left
Schmitzer,
back.
Yeah,
It wasn't much.
It wasn't much, and they managed to do it. I'm thinking that this Inter Milan team tonight are Liverpool, and they're playing against AC Milan.
This would also be their fourth. So, kind of like the heritage, as their previous manager said, kind of feels with them. They kind of have an expectation to do it. You know what I mean?
Do you
City
think they have an
fans-
expectation tonight? Do you think the Inter Milans are going there fully believing?
Can't be.
More. I think Inter Milan fans would have wanted City more than Real Madrid, because when you play Real Madrid, it's like, all right, we're just here to make up the numbers. It's Real Madrid's tournament. Real Madrid are going to win it, and I think against City, they probably think there's more of a chance.
Do you think
They probably still think they're underdogs, though.
if Man City win tonight, would you call them a bigger club than Chelsea now?
No, I don't think they'll
No.
ever be that.
No?
No.
Do you not think that Man City and Chelsea
They're
are
not a
not?
bigger club than Aston Villa.
No.
I'd agree with that, but Chelsea, do
No, they're incomparable to Chelsea.
you think so?
Yeah, they're
Do you actually, though?
No,
They're about to surpass you in trophies, similar history over the last 20 years.
Similar history. over the last 20 years?
No,
A million miles away, right?
I don't think. Look, what this City team are doing, this iteration of City is like unlike anything I've ever seen before, right?
I agree.
This is the best crew of footballers ever assembled. Like, you know, even when you think back to, say, the Galacticos or maybe that AC Milan team that won the European Cup in '94, whatever your definition of the best team ever is, this City team are comparable.
I don't think it's the best 11. I think it's the best squad
Yeah,
you've
because
probably seen.
there's no
in terms
way.
of depth. I
Like-
think there's many 11s that you can go, they could beat them or they could
Yeah.
beat them, etc., etc. I don't think there's a better squad, because even if you look at, like, for example, the treble winners at Man United or whatever, like our squad, yes, we had to do without Kane and Scholes in the final, and you know there's a lot to be said about that and things like that. But you know, there's a difference between Jesper Blomqvist coming off the bench and Riyad Mahrez coming off.
Yeah.
Like there's chasms between David May coming off the bench and I don't know, Aymeric Laporte coming. You know,
it could be Foden, could be
there's massive,
Grealish.
huge
It's
differences
crazy.
between
They have
some of those
£100 million
players.
footballers on the bench. I do think I've seen United fans really battling this week, trying to say that their treble will always surpass.
It always will.
But I do agree, because English football is so lopsided compared to the rest of Europe now. Like Aston Villa are able to go and buy players from Seville take their best centre back out of there. We can poach players. Like, it's not the same competitiveness. When you won the treble, the Italian teams were to be feared. Have you seen that clip of Gary Neville when he hears that they're going to be playing Juventus and he like quivers like a little boy? And like the Spanish teams were always fantastic.
I think you look at some of the players as well. We came up against R9's Inter, Zidane's Juve. Like everyone says, those two are the greatest players of all time. Like, like everyone, they're in everyone's greatest 11s all the time.
I'm not even disagreeing with you because I think there's a lot of truth in what Finton said there. But the way that they're going to win the treble, if they win it, the way that they're going to have done it, they will have smashed Thomas Tuchel's Bayern Munich, and then
I think they've done really well. I didn't expect them to get through either. They've done
Bayern Munich.
Really?
They've battered Munich. They've battered Real Madrid. The Real Madrid team that they battered. Not only did they batter them, and when I say batter, I mean battered. Right, that 45 minutes, that first 45 minutes of the second leg is probably the most impressive 45 minutes by any English team in Europe against elite opposition ever. They did it to the reigning holders, who not only were they the reigning holders, but they were like the professionals of winning the European Cup. It's Ancelotti, serial
I think
European
there's also,
Cup winner.
for me, a lot of it is, and again, call me but if you want, like, a lot of it is a story, bro. Like, United's is just romantically better. It is more organically grow. Like, everything about it is better. Look, City's team, and, you can talk about the football on the pitch, and the players still have to go over the white line and do it. Incredible achievements by Pep Guardiola, the players and all that kind of stuff. And the fans, they'll have the best night of their lives tonight. If they win it, fair play to you. But you can't, there's 115 reasons why it's a dodgy one. And let's be real, they were suspended from this Champions League. People say they got away with it. They still got a fine. They were guilty of something. You know what I mean? People say, we showed enough evidence, got away with it. You weren't.
I think it's a sad day for football if they do win, because it's the one thing we're all clinging on to, right? They're obviously amazing at football. They're going to win the next 3 or 4 Premier League titles if Pep Guardiola's there. They're going to turn the English league into the German league, right? They're going to have 9 out of 10. So we're all hanging on to the fact that they don't have a European title. And I think,
you know what though, they shouldn't. Look, as a Man United fan as well, I can also acknowledge that it's partly United's fault that this has happened.
Yeah, the money
it's partly
spent
Chelsea's fault that this has happened. These teams, especially Manchester United, had such a huge head start on these clubs, and ultimately you can talk about how it's not organic at City and all these kind of different things. They just won the lottery or whatever, but ultimately over the last 10 years, we've been mismanaged. We've spent a whole load of money, and ultimately we still should have won things in and around that time.
Yeah, people talk about Brighton being well run, but Man City are well run.
That will challenge Manchester City over the next couple of years. And if, for example, Manchester United get their ownership right, if, for example, and again, you can talk about the means being wrong or whatever, but if Newcastle get it right, they're going to challenge, because you've just seen the example and the evidence being shown in Manchester City.
I don't think it's going to be the same for Newcastle, though. I don't think Newcastle are going to have the open...
Right.
No, even if they get it, I reckon it's going to be a lot more scrutinised. I don't think Newcastle are going to get the red carpet rolled out like City did and they get away with it. Because
we've seen the Premier League give
boys...
medals out to a team that have been charged. Like,
true.
The Premier League have shown they're kind of happy to...
I don't think it'll be as easy.
But they're innocent at the moment. Like they're not... Whether we think they're innocent or not, we have to believe in the rule of law.
No,
that like,
come on, let's...
Do we not? Look, okay, maybe we don't.
I believe you're innocent to be proven guilty, but sometimes the evidence is there, bro. OJ was innocent. You know what I mean? With a glove fit.
There's definitely been...
Where's Kim Kardashian's old man when you need him? Anyway,
they had him, but you see, they brought him back with the Avengers. They had the hologram of Kim Kardashian's dad with all the lawyers coming out. It was mental.
Yeah. Look, I know what you mean. I do think it's murky once you start factoring in the charges. Once you start talking about the jeopardy involved in potentially breaking the law and what that would mean. It would mean stripping titles. I think that there will be a time for that conversation, but it's probably not tonight.
Do you know who I feel sorry for? There is some Manchester City fans who have absolutely slummed it out. And I went looking through the history books. I was trying to find one piece of history. I was like, City have to have something. And when you were winning the treble in 1999, City were playing a Division 2 playoff final. They were 2-0 down in the 89th minute. They get one back. Dickoff scores, makes it 2-2. 75,000 people in Wembley, back-to-back promotions. Those fans deserve...
I mean, no, you can't... what the fans will be feeling tonight. Look, you can always go back to Manchester City fans and deep down they'll know this ain't real. But
I still feel it's like the Newcastle
you
fans.
still
at the
can't
moment,
take
I
it
feel a
away
little
from
bit
them.
sorry
They're
for
still
them.
going to be living in the moment. They're still going to be enjoying what's going to be happening, and still going to have witnessed great football. You can't take that away from, the players or the fans.
I always
deep
think,
down,
I always think that about stripping titles. Like, somebody...
They're the Lance Armstrong
if
of
they-
football.
But yeah, somebody though...
Jose Mourinho would love if they stripped the title and he got given that United title. Most people in football would be
thing
like,
is-
nah, sure, I didn't win it properly. Mourinho would do a lap
Mourinho
around.
would love it, but he'd be the only person. And also, like, in some sort of arbitrary sense, if somebody said to me now, Chelsea winning the Champions League in Munich in 2012, it didn't happen for some reason. The one of the whatever.
Of course.
You can't take it away from me.
Yeah, it
It's
happened.
mine. I own it. It's my memory.
players have the
I
medal
was
as
there.
well.
I was there. I saw it. I felt it. It's so arbitrary to strip somebody of a title.
I completely agree.
It does nothing.
Does nothing.
It does nothing.
It does
and
nothing.
the team that get given it are like,
Yeah, the team that
well,
get
we
given
haven't
it
been
can't
able
celebrate
to really
it.
celebrate it. What we're going to wheel out our players in 10 years' time from the team that
And also,
played in
the fans,
final.
the fans of the team that you strip it from, they'll just claim it anyway. If somebody says, if you suddenly went to me, Chelsea have only won one European Cup. I go, no, we haven't. We've won two.
Yeah, but
That's the
deep
end of
down,
it.
But deep
Like-
down, those fans also know it's like, we haven't really.
Yeah,
But you know what I mean? It's like I can go, yeah, well, that Aguero moment didn't really happen. But deep down, I still
No, because
I
that
still had
did
that tear
happen.
in my eye when that goal went in. you can't reverse that tear and put that tear
I
back
do
in.
find it quite funny though to just like
It happened in MMA. It's not to get onto too much, but John Jones had one disqualification, so he's technically not undefeated. But everyone, even the UFC, commentators are still calling him undefeated because it was a nonsense call. No one's going to start saying that Manchester United have extra Premier League titles.
Yeah.
That Liverpool won 5 titles under
And I don't
Klopp
think
or
those
whatever
clubs
it
would
would
want
be.
them that way anyway.
No.
The teams are obviously in. We're 15 minutes away from kickoff. You've obviously seen as well, Buvey isn't with us today. I wonder where he is. Where is he? Anyone seen him? Didn't turn up. He told me he was ill.
Did he
He was
call in
supposed to
sick?
be in on the show. Yeah, he told us he was ill. Weirdly, when I rang his phone, it had an international dialing code. So that's a bit strange. The team news are in, though. Edison's in goal for City. They've gone with Akanji, Diaz, Ake, Stones, Rodri, Silva.
hang on, you didn't say Walker.
No, Walker.
'Cause Walker's not there.
Little nigga.
Stones, Rodri, Silva, De Bruyne, Gundogan, Grealish, Haaland. In the team for Inter, Onana, Bastoni, Acerbi, Darmian. Jesus. Bloody hell. Dumfries, Barella, Brozovic, Kalanoglu, Beppe DeMarco at left back, left wing back, Dzeko, and Martinez.
Lukaku on the bench, yeah.
Big Rams on the bench, yes.
It's
You
pretty
seen who
much
is-
the
is-
City
is
team
with
that's been played.
Dating these days?
I missed that one.
Big Rum? Dating Megan Thee Stallion? Do you know who Megan Thee Stallion is, Rory?
I have absolutely no idea. Should I know? The
I
Stallion.
don't know,
You can't be a woman called the Stallion, can you?
I mean, she's a... there's a
know
reason
who
why
she's
she's
like.
called a stallion.
Oh,
2 old men down this
hang
end.
on. I still don't know. Do you not know either?
He's pictured...
I've got no
He's
idea.
pictured...
But if
I
she's a
know what
woman
he
called the
pictured.
Stallion, I'm not sure I want to know either.
I know what he pictured.
Yeah, I'm not happy not knowing. Yeah, it's not the most feminine of nicknames. Yeah,
It is
No.
the Man City team you'd expect. Walker has been immense in the last few weeks, but bar that, every player kind of picks themselves these days
Yeah.
in the City lineup.
yeah, I
Like,
think so.
there's not been much rotation for Pep lately. I was
No.
hoping there'd be a spanner in the works. Like, was it you?
I think
Someone tweeted, or maybe it was Elliot tweeted out earlier on that we'd see Riyad Mahrez at left back.
Yeah.
And I wish he'd have done something.
Well, I mean, Walker not being there is a slight chink in the armour, isn't it?
I'm not sure if
He is
Inter
on the
Milan
bench.
have.
Yeah, but that's not.
But are we expecting him to be hugely required today?
I reckon Inter Milan will be doing a lot of sitting in, and the way they'll set up with their press is it'll all depend on whether they can pinch the ball and counter quick.
Mm.
It's not going to be Inter building from the back and City sitting in very often at all.
They're
you go.
there.
That's
Aye.
Megan Thee Stallion. Do you recognise her face?
No, I'm not
You might recognise her when she's twerking.
twerking.
That's
I don't need to see anybody twerk. ever.
You'd like to see that, I imagine.
That?
But,
I would not.
I would. If anyone's got them pictures, send them along.
No,
Um,
that's not my
Can
cup
we
of
get some score
Darjeeling.
predictions for today? Because look, I think we're going to see a game. I don't know. Look, I'm not writing Inter Milan off, but I think this is over by 60, 65 minutes.
I'm not writing Inter Milan off over by
Yeah,
60 minutes.
But that's my prediction.
That is
I think
totally
Man
written off.
City are winning this comfortably.
I
As soon as City score, it's over.
I'm going Inter Milan 1, Man City 0.
I'm going to say Inter Milan on penalties. Now,
No.
If Inter Milan win, we're here all day. By the way,
I believe that. I don't think that we're going to see Inter Milan score more than one goal. I think it's going to be so tough.
I'm going 1-0 just because I want it to happen. And I can see a world
You
where
see
it
when
could.
Chelsea beat City? Remember when I was saying to you, Chelsea winning today?
Yeah.
I was so sure Chelsea winning today. Yeah, I don't.
That's part of my 1-0 prediction. The fact
Is it?
that well, it's what we did to them. It will be, I think, the only way. If it becomes a contest of goals, Man City win that.
You
easily.
kind of know what this feels like because in 08 you had a team. You know, I know you've chopped and changed managers under Roman, but you kind of had a team that was built to win the Champions League ultimately, and that Jose team did eventually win it when you look at some of the key players in that. But you had that 08 final where you lost it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel because of that previous final, 3 years later, Bayern?
Yeah, 08 to 12.
4 years later, did you feel more confident that you'd win that against Bayern Munich because of those previous experiences? Like, did it just make you, like, for the fans, it wasn't your first Champions League final, for most of the players? Like,
no, weirdly, my predictions even back then were completely wrong. I remember being in Moscow. I was in Moscow in 08, and I was incredibly confident. I thought that we were going to beat Manchester United. They'd beaten us to the league, so I felt like it was like our way of equalising that. And we were such a good team in 08. You know, we were a brilliant side.
You're a much better team in 08 than you were in 12, for sure.
The 08 team, to a man, it was, I'm not saying they were this, but they were capable of being international captains, to a man. The 08 team, if you look at every single player that played in that side.
That was the Mourinho mindset, right?
Yeah, it was
warriors.
Every single player was capable of being their international captain. By 12, we were a little bit of a shambles. We were a little bit all over the place. And I went to Bayern, obviously I was in Munich, and I was thinking, how the hell, like, firstly, how are we here? You know, in the previous round, we were witnessing Lionel Messi missing penalties. We were witnessing Chelsea knocking Barcelona out in the Nou Camp with 10 men, somehow doing that. You know, like we were totally all over the place. So no, I didn't think we'd win the one that we won. I didn't think we'd lose the one that we lost.
Di Matteo was a manager.
Di Matteo was a manager. Ryan Bertrand made his debut in a final. You know, it was genuine, like lunacy. We had our captain couldn't play. David Luiz basically played that entire final, the whole thing, on one leg. Like there was a horrible moment when David Luiz played for Paris Saint-Germain. He came back to Chelsea and he knocked us out of the cup, knocked us out of the Champions League. And Chelsea fans were booing him, like genuinely booing him. I was like, what on earth are you doing? Like, well, he scored and he celebrated. I'm like, are you an idiot? He scored for somebody else. Of course he celebrated. The man played on one leg in Munich. He then scored the penalty.
By that same token, you kind of don't have when we were discussing this the other day about cup final goals and what they meant then and to now, you kind of hold Kai Havertz and you're like, I can't wait to the back.
Yeah,
of
but
him.
that's off the back of that. All that does, like, I remember sending you a screen grab from my Chelsea chat.
Yeah.
All that does is demonstrate how in a private WhatsApp group, Adam has decided to flag it on a live stream.
No. I never said the words. I was saying, but you
I don't matter.
You don't feel the same way about Kai Havertz as you do Robbie Di Matteo for scoring in 97. And Havertz is more historic.
But what that does is demonstrate quite how abjectly poor Kai Havertz is. Kai Havertz has managed to do the impossible, which is score a winner for Chelsea in the Champions League final, and I dislike him. Like, it's physically impossible. Like, I love Bernard Lambourd, right? Because he scored a winner against Tottenham in 1998. I love Bjarni Goldbeck because he scored a rocket against Tottenham. Like, you can have legendary status from me really easy. Really easy. It's so easy.
Just don't score in the Champions League
Jody
final.
Morris didn't trump it. I love the geezer forever, right? I can honestly create a legend out of very non-legendary
Was the
things.
Chelsea final against Manchester City? I can't remember the vibe. Not a fan of either teams. Didn't have too much of an interest. But were they as big of an underdog as Inter Milan are tonight? Was the feeling that they would wipe the floor?
No, I don't.
Just too much of a magician.
This is the biggest
Tuchel
underdog.
had a thing over City as well, didn't he?
True.
Yeah.
I think when you look at Inzaghi here, you go,
yeah.
He ain't the guy that's going to beat Pep. I can't see him stressing.
Do you know?
But maybe I'm being unfair.
There's a writer, sort of broadcaster, a guy called Andy Brassel, who I rate highly. Talks about European football brilliantly. He was talking about this, and I was listening to him, like desperately trying to find that little tiny pearl. Just Andy, please give me a reason somehow.
To believe.
And he was just
Who's that performer?
I just can't.
Megan Thee Stallion, no?
Yeah, maybe.
I wish.
Rita Ora.
That's not rude. That's not,
It's
Shakira.
Anita.
Anita.
Behave.
Anita from
Shakira.
Curry.
Anita.
By the way, Rory, we've had a super chat. This could
Gotta
be-
read it out.
This could be, a dare for you to do, right?
Very unlikely I agree to this.
Sounds very Spursy.
Rory
also.
should twerk if Inter win.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what that means, but yes. The answer is yes. I would do that.
Do you want to do it right there on
That's
the
the
screen?
thing. I could do that. I could do that. I went to
Wait,
theatre
it's
school.
not
I'm
yet.
fine.
They're not twerking yet. That more like that.
Yeah. Nobody wants to see.
Got to
me
get
do
that arse in the air, I think.
Like you just don't care.
Yeah, pretty much. That is it.
Yeah, I don't know why they do things like that. So is this in the stadium, or have you just put on some random VH1? No, this is in the.
Was a Burner Boy coming out?
This is in the stadium.
Burna
Why are
Boy's
they
coming
putting
out,
this?
innit?
Why are they putting this
I wouldn't
stuff
mind
in a
seeing
stadium?
Burna Boy
This is
live.
They're trying to
ridiculous.
make it like the Super Bowl.
Mate, turn all this crap off. I don't know who she is. I'm sure she's very good, but turn it off. Let the fans generate a genuine atmosphere. What's the point of this?
Boovy's
Do you
there
remember
right
that
now.
goal? Who was
Glow
the goal?
sticks on.
Mate, who was the
Loving
goal?
live right now.
Who was the goal for Liverpool? And then everybody and she got annoyed on Twitter.
Dua
She was
Lipa.
like,
Dua Lipa.
no, it wasn't Dua Lipa.
It was.
It was Dua Lipa.
She was like, why aren't they listening to me? Do you remember? No, Dua Lipa did One Kiss with Liverpool.
Sorry, yeah, you're on about someone different.
There was someone else.
No, I remember. Yeah.
There was
you're
someone
right.
else, and she came on and she was like doing her thing, and like Liverpool fans last year, whoever did it
Camilla
last
Cabello.
year, who?
Camilla Cabello.
Fine, right?
Fine.
Whoever that is, right? Somebody, I still don't know. She was doing her thing, and then she had the audacity to put out a tweet and go, "Why aren't they listening to me?" Like, no one knows who the fuck you are. Like, nobody wanted to see
I don't
you.
think
Like,
I've ever
nobody
heard you curse on this before.
No, because it's so. Imagine being that conceited that you think that people who have no idea who you are, they didn't buy a ticket to see you, they didn't want you there, they bought a ticket to see the cup final. You have the audacity to go, they should be listening to me. Who do you think you are? It's fucking mental.
But then I love like the culture of it all. Like we hate this at football, and I'm with you. So I'm hypocritical as well. But you also went and witnessed one of the greatest Super Bowl halftime shows ever.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
And that was all you-
amazing. So I was all in favour of that. No, that was super. That's sensational stuff. I'll do that again tomorrow. Yeah. When 50 Cent come down upside down, he comes down upside down. I was over
How
the
did
moon
it come
with that.
down, Rory? Like,
Comes
what?
down upside down. He's like,
All the memes, mate. The
yeah, when 50 Cent did that in California, I was over the moon. But no, this is just because the other thing. I'll tell you for why. Firstly, culturally, right? Inter fans will be making a real racket in there. Man City fans will be making a real racket in there. The genuine atmosphere, like the whole soul of football, would be on display now. They would be getting behind their team. They would be serenading their players, and they would be creating what is unquantifiable in terms of like music or finance or anything. It was just like raw, passionate noise. You've interrupted it. When I was in America, I watched the home team. What were they called now? Rams.
See,
Is this at the Super Bowl?
I watched the home team.
Imagine what football fans would say about him if he was at the Champions League final. This idiot can't even name who this
No, but
is.
mate, everyone was like me there. I watched the home team win. Nobody cared. Like,
Really?
There was no genuine atmosphere. There was no songs. There was nothing.
100 grand a ticket, man.
There was
I
nothing going
suppose
on.
it is kind of because I went to NFL at Wembley and it was Oakland Raiders, and like they were like it was proper California outside and all this West Coast music. And they moved them. It's
Yeah.
like I find that mad in itself that you can just move a football club and be like, all right, you're not going to be the Oakland Raiders anymore. You're going to be the Nevada
not
Raiders
right.
or
It's
Vegas.
Milton
not
Keynes
right.
Dons, isn't it?
They're
Yeah,
now the
yeah, proper.
Las Vegas Raiders.
Las Vegas, yeah.
Oh, that's who I support. That's my team. I
Biggest
decided.
hypocrite
I
going.
decided I was a Las Vegas man.
Do you think there's any argument if Guardiola fails to win tonight? I've seen lots of discussion if he wins tonight. He's the greatest manager in
He's not
history.
the greatest
I'm not
manager.
saying he is, but I've seen arguments.
I think
if
he's
he
the greatest
doesn't win
manager
tonight, though,
of
His generation.
the group. You know when you get the group of best players,
yes.
he's the best manager for them.
But do you think
You know, if it's not the best squad, I don't think. I think if you give Klopp a lesser like what he did with Liverpool, I don't think Guardiola could do what he did with that Liverpool. I don't think Guardiola
he's
could
never
do
had that.
what
He's been very smart.
Fergie did with Man United.
Or
But
Aberdeen.
if you give him the best resources at Bayern Munich, the best at Barcelona, the best at City, he's going to do this. And he's a guarantee to do that,
do you
which
think,
is
do you think there's an
phenomenal in
argument,
itself.
though, that he's flopping if he doesn't win tonight? Like,
No,
he's had all
no.
the money at Bayern and City.
I don't agree, so no. I will say that he's a massive
I don't
flop,
mean flopping.
and I'll use it against him, but ultimately, people say Fergie didn't win him enough European Cups. You still can't. can't take away the greatness, and it is a cup
But
competition.
his team is so much better than every other team in the world. And he has to win a European
it's a
Cup with
cup
them.
competition, and there's no like Inter Milan have some great players out there. Like
He's never won a European Cup without Messi, has he?
no,
And it's been a long time since he last won a European Cup.
And he's had the best team in the world for 5 or 6 years.
And Roberto Di Matteo sent him on a sabbatical. Got to remember that.
but you could
Sent him
also
to New
say,
York. Drop kicked him to New York.
and I know
Flop's probably
PSG
not the
haven't
right
had
word,
one,
but underachieving
but
maybe.
like I know, and I know you could probably argue PSG aren't as well run as Man City, but someone should have won it there. You feel if Pep went to PSG, he wins it. You know, it's like
Yeah.
he's the like it could be the difference.
It's hard to argue against
I think
that.
if he doesn't win tonight, it's a real blip, isn't it? Like it's a real stain.
What do you think to Finton's question?
I
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Flop's probably not the correct word because
is it a stain on his reputation?
think the lack of European Cups away from Lionel Messi is a problem for his legacy. Yeah, it doesn't mean that I don't think he's the best, certainly around at the moment. But I think there should be more European Cups. Yeah, I think he should have won a European Cup at Bayern.
How long was he there for? 3 years?
Yeah.
How many Bayern Munich haven't won
But
a European Cup in the
didn't
last
they-
3 years?
But they won it either side of him.
They actually did.
The team won it either
They
side
did.
of him.
I just think.
I pulled that one out of the bag.
Moving on. Let's not make Rory look too good. J-Con with a super chat. Gotta read it. Says, solid Irish lineup in the club today, lads. Best Irish player that isn't or wasn't Roy Keane.
I know the answer. There is an obvious one answer.
Robbie Keane.
Incorrect.
Norman Whiteside.
Sorry, excuse me. I'm going to be absolutely murdered by Aston Villa
Shouldn't you have
fans.
said Steve Staunton?
No, Paul McGrath.
Paul
I'm going to
McGrath.
be murdered. I'm
Yeah,
going to be
Paul McGrath.
murdered. My dad is going to
What
be
a
at home
defender.
swearing at me.
Your dad just switched the stream.
One of only
So
3
thanks.
defenders, I think Van Dijk, Terry and Paul McGrath, PFA Player of the Year, first year of the Premier League. He was unbelievable. And I'm wearing an Aston Villa jersey and I said, Robbie Keane, I'm going red. I am sweating.
Yeah.
It's my hands.
Can we get that removed from the record?
Yeah.
Is there any chance we can edit that live?
That happened to me once. I was doing
I'm sweating.
I was doing a quiz on some show that just got, and like someone went to me, how many European Cups have United won? And I was just thinking pure about Fergie. I went 2, and then I was like, no, that's well, I've already fucked up because it's definitely 3. But I felt so embarrassed. I felt the same way. It's like, you should know that. I did know that, but I just.
But mate, when you're on a live, and this is the thing that people don't clock, and I think that's why, obviously, anytime we make a mistake, it's flagged so much and enjoyed so much because people don't understand. Like, you've got no time to think, and you're on the spot, and you're live sometimes for hours. It can go. I remember I did like strikers, Premier League strikers, best Premier League strikers, and I don't know what happened to me. It's not that I don't rate him. It's not that I don't think he's amazing. I just forgot that he existed.
He is.
Thierry Henry.
Oh my God.
I was going, like, mate, what? And I was talking, I started talking at various points about, Francis Jeffers. And I was like going, it was just like.
if you forget
like
an Arsenal player as well, that's the
it was like
worst thing you
this
could do.
massive glitch. It was just, I started, obviously, I was talking about Aguero loads. I was talking about Didier Drogba loads, Van Persie, Burkhouse. And it's just like, oh no, how have I done that?
I would argue.
Sometimes you miss the obvious ones. Though.
Yeah, because you're thinking, make sure that you flag Robbie Keane.
Yeah.
Make sure that you
He
flag
scored
Robbie
the most goals for Ireland. That's why it just came into
Think
my
out the
head.
box, so you look clever. Oh shit! You look like an idiot.
Do you know who I think the answer is? Or who at least my opinion is?
Go.
Damien Duff.
Damien Duff was absolutely incredible,
That's a very,
and he
very
was
shout.
very much a part of that Mourinho super team on one wing. Robin on
Norman
the other wing.
Whiteside, though, youngest player at a World Cup.
Yeah.
I don't. When
Cup
people
final.
ask me about the best players, obviously players existed
Off in the
before.
Champions League final, by the way.
Here we go, kick off.
Carry on.
I just don't pretend to have watched players from the 70s and the 80s and be like, oh, he was so good. You should have seen him on his day.
No, but
so
you don't
I just
have
talk
to.
about what I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you
when
don't
I-
have to have watched them to
when I do my
appreciate
best
to
11,
be able to appreciate them.
that's fair.
When I do my favourite, like, if someone goes, what's your greatest United 11? I only do.
You get Georgie Best in there.
But, no, I don't. I do who I've seen live. But I I always have been weird about George Best. I remember I had like a kit in 2005 where I had George Best on the back.
And
that was
he was
just
the first
from me
football and superstar. There was
watching
clips of him
videos. I've
everywhere.
got family from Belfast, so they're always going on. And it's like it grows, this myth grows, doesn't it?
Do you know what I find really frustrating about football sort of at the moment? And it's definitely going this way. You know, when we sort of pretend or forget about what's gone before and we almost act like it hasn't ever happened.
No,
I find it
They've
really
paid
annoying.
Dzeko off, by the way. Did you see that touch?
Yeah. Do you know, that's
it's
the
like Nelly the
occasion.
elephant.
That's the occasion, though, isn't it? It's just the occasion.
Man City bond, man. He's like, I won you the Premier League, I win you the European Cup tonight.
It's a bobble. It did bobble, in fairness. But do you know? I'll give you a good example of this. And I just thought, look, obviously, I don't know much about Dixie Dean. Obviously, I don't know a huge amount about the way that he played, or the how good was he with his back to goal, or what was his XG. I don't know, but I know that he existed.
This XG.
I know that he existed, and it's my responsibility because I love football and because I talk about football a lot. It's kind of our responsibility.
No,
to know.
I accept
But
that.
you know when people were talking about Haaland and constantly going, he's breaking this record, he's breaking that record, he's breaking this record, like he wasn't.
No, Dixie Dean, 60 goals in the
Yeah,
season.
he wasn't.
Is Dennis Irwin the most decorated Irish player? Sorry.
Very good chance, but I think Roy Keane would be ahead of
Roy
him.
Keane as well, innit? Yeah,
I
He's
think
got to
so.
be Keane.
no, but it's because we were told no Roy Keane. That's what I was thinking.
In terms of if you
In
excluded
terms
Roy
of what
Keane,
silverware, it's got to be. It's anyone that was at Manchester United in that era where
John O'Shea might be up there.
Yeah,
Like,
it's anyone that was.
John
At,
O'Shea.
you remember that nutmeg?
He's got
through
the
to
best
his finger?
highlight reel
Oh
out of
my
the
the
Irish.
chip, the
God.
chip against Arsenal.
Oh,
Yeah.
John O'Shea, what a man.
Yeah.
The
When I seen John O'Shea nutmeg and Lewis Figo, when I was at home watching that at Dublin, I was like, do you know what? Maybe I could make it. Him
Is he
and
a
Paul
Dubliner
McShane.
as well?
No, he's not. But just the fact that there was this lad from Ireland, he didn't really look like a footballer.
there was a recent
Yeah.
spoof little doc made
I've
about
seen
him,
it.
which was pretty
Amazing.
good. We won't mention who made it.
Spoof
but-
though.
Yeah, like they made a documentary about John O'Shea and Megan Figo.
Oh, I
and it was
see,
like
right.
a funny one. It was quite good. Yeah. Gotta love Shazy.
He's
Oh,
offside,
Haaland's
he's
in. He
offside,
might be
right?
offside,
He's
but he's
offside,
blazed
sure.
it over.
Yeah, it's
The first 2 minutes started with Inter Milan
Quite
having a little
open.
bit of possession,
quite open.
which is what City would want, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
City would want them.
Well, I mean, that's what Simeone was saying, isn't it? That his and I rate this.
What are
He
you thinking
said
of
that
his
he
suit?
will not be. I mean, it would be better if they got one in his size. But apart from that, it looked like they had quite a nice cut. I don't know if he was off there. You know,
Very close.
I think that was a bit tighter.
It's a dangerous game for Inter to play.
But like Simeone was saying, like we will not be dictated to. We're in the final. We deserve to be in the final. We've got to the final. We will not be dictated to by Man City. You can talk about how brilliant they are. You can talk about how good Pep Guardiola is. But we are here. We deserve to be here, and we're going to play our way. And
they'll feel invincible because
They've nothing
they
to lose,
beat AC
arguably.
Milan,
They are the
Well,
third best team in Italy, though. That's the worry.
but sometimes
But it's the
you
same
might be the
as
third in the league, but this
Liverpool are
Bit of
what?
competition is
momentum
you.
and that,
The
yeah.
seventh best, sixth best this year, but they're not. They'll be back.
Yeah.
Who's that, sorry?
Liverpool. You know, like they're not the sixth best
Well,
team.
And also,
and everyone's going, they're going to challenge City next season.
I reckon,
It's like-
do you know what? I
That'll
reckon
be
over
tough.
the years, if you looked at the previous winners of the Champions League, there'd be a lot of non-champions that
No,
win it.
absolutely. Real
So, like-
Madrid won it 3 years on the trot without winning
Yeah.
the title, I think.
I
Or
mean,
maybe
Che-
they won one title.
Chelsea have won the European Cup twice and have never been champions whilst we won the European Cup.
Very few teams do a double when it
Yeah.
comes to Champions
Been
League.
two. So lucky.
You've seen two, yeah.
Well, one of them was a treble.
Liverpool were never champions. No, Liverpool didn't. I
Well,
mean,
not,
they
not
have
in recent
77,
years.
but
Yeah,
not
not in recent years. Not in Champions
Not
League.
in
era.
Champions League, yeah.
It would be great for the game if Inter take it to them, because anytime we've seen
Oh no,
City,
no!
Listen,
no,
this is the
no.
problem.
We don't want that.
Anytime, what? So you want to just sit here and
Yeah, I
bleed
want
a
to be
slow
bored
death?
to life to penalties and Inter win. That's it.
Anytime I
Really don't want it to go to
remember
penalties.
City
Yeah.
losing games in recent years, it's when teams took it to them. Like, it's very rarely that they get caught
The
enough. on
problem
it.
is, if Inter Milan take it to him, oh god, they just play into City's hands.
Rodri's some player.
He's some player, isn't he?
Look at this.
Oh dear.
City didn't even get out of second gear against United as well.
See, this is the.
I thought they looked a bit rusty.
I think it was weird. We obviously allowed them to.
Put a tackle in at some point. How far are you letting him carry the ball?
You've let him get to the
How
6 yard
far
box
is he
there.
letting him carry the ball? It's ridiculous. Bernardo Silva's jinking. He's picked it up. He's picked it up outside the box. He's got to the 6 yard box practically.
Yeah, he has.
Do you
He
think-
has. Yeah, he's shot from the corner.
Do you reckon there's any element that when City were on it and they were chasing down Arsenal, they looked unbelievable, and obviously Guardiola had them so well finely tuned that once they won the league and he rested a couple of players for a couple of games. It felt like the intensity dropped off
It's hard
ever
to
so
switch it
slightly.
on once you've switched it
Yeah,
off.
they
I get
lost
what
to
you're
Brentford,
saying.
didn't they?
I think that's what happened to Arsenal in the league when they dropped half their team against Sporting, and then they never recovered
Yeah,
from that loss.
I think momentum is a big thing. It's certainly
You could argue the same about Inter, though. Like, they had a cup final recently. I know they won it, but they just got over the line. Like, it was
Ooh.
very close to them not winning that. So you could argue both teams have probably had one eye on this game.
I wish they'd turn off VAR when the Italian teams are playing in Europe.
Yeah.
I just love to roll it back. I'd love to see Haaland get the treatment with no VAR from the Italian teams, just to see how he reacts. Do you remember when you played in Europe, in the 90s? It was violent.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was. I agree. Do you know what as well? Like some people, particularly nowadays, they're very precious about football, aren't they? Like they don't like to see robust challenges. They don't like the idea of. They don't like the idea of even any gamesmanship.
I love it.
I love it.
I love it.
Love it.
I love it. Obviously, when it's against you, your blood's boiling. But
I feel like Luis Suarez was the last of that
I'm a
kind.
shit house when I play, so I like it.
Yeah,
I played against you in Dublin. I was limping for days.
Yeah, I like.
Yeah, Luis Suarez was definitely that.
Yeah.
Definitely did anything.
He's the
by any means.
definition
By any
of a
means.
shit house.
Ricardo Carvalho loved it. By any means.
Carvalho's a silent one though.
Yeah.
Like you don't notice him on the pitch.
Yeah.
Doing it. Any of this.
He was so
dark
clever though. He'd always, you know, obviously John Terry would score a lot of goals. So many of them would be like Terry scoring
Basketball
and
blocking.
Carvalho just happening to be stood where the keeper wants to run.
Yeah.
Like just make.
I've had this conversation with you before. I'm a huge fan of Ricardo Carvalho. I credit a lot of the early day John Terry career with the Ricardo Carvalho presence alongside him.
They were an amazing partnership, yeah.
And then like just everything, because you even think about what he was at Porto when they won the Champions League.
I know, Madrid.
He was
Yeah.
some player, man.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think this is a pretty promising start. Not to get ahead of ourselves here, but
Yeah. It has been good. Like what it hasn't been, which I thought it would just be one-way traffic. And it hasn't been that. Inter have awoken.
I'll tell you who's awoken. Inter Miami have woken up with Lionel Messi as one of their players. It did look like for a little bit Lionel Messi could be joining Cristiano Ronaldo and Karim Benzema over in Saudi Arabia. A deal has been agreed for him to join Inter Miami. The one thing I'm gutted about is Phil Neville got sacked just before we could see him manage Lionel Messi. I think that would have been one of the greatest partnerships of all time. Phil Jackson, Michael Jordan stuff, that would have been. But Lionel Messi is going to Inter Milan, $150 million across 2.5 years. In fact, let's bring in our lovely Stokey to tell us just what's going down in Lionel Messi's contract.
The reason he's turned down $2 billion in Saudi is because he's getting Inter Milan wages, a share of Apple TV revenue because they've got the rights. Into Miami. Apple TV revenue because they've got the rights to the league. A personal deal with Apple, and they're going to make a movie/documentary. He gets a share of the Adidas MLS sales, and he gets a personal Adidas deal for the club because it's the first Adidas club he's been at, and he has an option in buying part of an MLS club.
Is it a similar kind of deal to the one Beckham had when he ended up with...
Beckham had the club to himself. This is just
he had the franchise, so he's got a percentage in it. But any franchise, for example, if Lionel Messi became part of Inter Miami's franchise, the club may be worth 100 million. He's probably worth more than 100 million now, but then Messi comes in, it's worth 300 million. So you're 20% that you've given him.
like
It doesn't
when
matter
Messi-
anyway.
when you talked about...
Sorry, Finton, to cut you off. For Beckham, he got the option on 25 mil, and the club's now worth 600 mil.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think Beckham took a massive pay cut to go over, but realistically, it just worked out as a genius play, made him a billionaire. Unbelievable.
1 second, let's just get through this Inter Milan attack. Ball into the box, well cleared
This is
by
dangerous now.
whoever that was, Ruben
We
Diaz.
need a tactical foul immediately.
Good tackle there by Inter Milan. They win the ball back. Inter Milan are pressing high up the pitch at the moment, which is what we didn't expect them to do. But again, moving back to this Lionel Messi move, what do you think it could mean? Or does it mean nothing? What does it mean for the MLS?
I think it's going to get bigger. It's going to get massive. People are going to want to watch him. They have a stadium that holds 15 or 16,000 people, which is a big problem. It's going to sell out tickets. America's massive. Football's getting bigger. Beckham was the original person who went over there and changed the game, and more people are getting into it.
You had the likes of Pele back in the day as well, Georgie Best and all those kind of guys. But the more modern era that made it more sexy to the modern people. Yeah.
But it hasn't quite worked before, has it? Like, I remember when the 1994 World Cup was there. Like, part of what the motivation there was that was going to be the birthplace, and I think there was even talk in kind of political conversations around that World Cup, was that at some point, maybe 20 years from then, America was going to win a World Cup. Like, that was, get the World Cup there, create a hotbed of love for football, and then America as a country will benefit.
I know it's kind of like different worlds, but in terms of the women's game, it has happened. Like, the women's game over there is huge. And in terms of the World Cup and the world international level, but you're right, the men's game, we haven't seen that maybe growth, although maybe the growth has been slower. And then you start to see now, what I find, when we talk about the 94 World Cup, for example, we had those stupid penalty shootout things, Diana Ross running on the pitch and all that. Yeah. Remember, it was like America wanted football to change to the Americans. And now I feel like when you watch the MLS, I don't watch a huge amount of it, but I see some teams on socials, the fan engagement and all those kind of things. I follow the Cooligans and that.
They've become a bit more European, haven't they?
Yes, the fan bases. So they've kind of, I think the appetite for football over there is bigger. And because they've got an interest in the Premier League, in the Champions League, in all these leagues, it's easier to sell that to them now. Also, you look at Messi to the Hispanic audience over there. It's going to be so big, man. So I think it's changed. I think Messi will obviously help it change. But ultimately, the biggest impact this will have is on his skyrocket, isn't it?
Yes. What's the point of this move? Is for Lionel Messi to
personal
make
brand. Personal brand. Yeah. I would have loved if after he won the World Cup, he just pieced out. He just left at the very top. It's never really done because there's just so much money on the table. It's an easy gig. But imagine he had just won the World Cup, not going to go anywhere from there. I guess PSG were still in the Champions League and there was the chance that maybe he could add that to the collection. But
the trouble is you can't walk away from that level of an offer. Because what
Messi's going to make tens of millions a year doing anything.
No, but this is different.
No, but it's hundreds of millions.
This is different.
Yeah.
Like, this is
for the rest of your life, mate.
The kind of money that he's making here could be more than he's made in his career combined.
He's got to be close to a billionaire already.
Oh no, I certainly think that. But this is suddenly like generational wealth. This is creating.
I also think having interest, look, David Beckham don't need money anymore. But if you're just going to sit around being happy with your life, people enjoy running football clubs. They enjoy feeling like they're still a part of it. That's one way for you to still be a part of the game after. I can't see Messi being a manager, so being involved in football.
I can see Ronaldo being a manager, same kind of level. I could see Ronaldo doing it.
I could see that going badly.
I can see it going badly, badly.
It's like Roy Keane. Roy Keane was great when he started, by the way, as manager, but you can't be that good of a player and manage players that aren't.
I've heard Thierry Henry talking about it, and he's just trying to explain to players you just do this, this, and this, and they're just like, what?
Yeah. And Zidane was lucky because he managed elite players.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah.
The motivation here though is definitely money. Like, Lionel Messi is just shy of a billionaire currently, so this tips him into the billionaire bracket, the billionaire boys club. This is where it's going to place him.
Would you invite Messi into the club? Would he be allowed to come sit at the table with you boys?
Yeah, he's welcome.
He can have the club.
He is welcome.
We'll start covering all the Inter Miami games if he wants.
Well, that's you say that as a joke, but it will have that impact. Like Lionel Messi.
Subscribe.
It won't have that. It won't have that impact on me. I won't watch that. But I think there's a lot of people that will watch because Messi's playing. And then I think there's all those people that seem to support
I hope
Messi.
He's good.
For example,
I hope he doesn't get found out.
I don't know about you. You're a bit of a Beckham fanboy as well. I know you're a Villa fan, but I was a Man United fan, Beckham fanboy. I bought an LA Galaxy shirt. I started watching LA Galaxy streams on my laptop at 4 a.m. in the morning, just to see David Beckham.
Yeah.
Lionel Messi is on another level to that.
Yeah.
So
but also, there's a lot of people, aren't there, that genuinely support.
Hey!
Not giving it. There's a lot of people that support Lionel Messi. It's an alien concept to me, but there are a lot of people that don't necessarily support a club. They support the club that the player.
It's like me with basketball. I watch the Lakers for LeBron James. I watch Miami for Jimmy Butler. I support players.
Yeah. That exists in football as well, I think.
Yeah, it does.
And those people will obviously now support
Lionel Messi
an MLS. Yeah, and they'll be invested in MLS games and whatever.
And I think the World Cup coming up is going to be huge as well. And then you look at the crossover between, I know it's in USA, Mexico, Canada. Obviously,
But that's, do you know
Spanish
what?
speaking in Mexico will be.
But you see, that's what it will be
Copa
part
America
of as
in
well.
2025.
That's what it will be part of. Like, you know when Lionel Messi went to Paris Saint-Germain?
It was part of the Qatar.
Part of that was to create a sort of amazing triumvirate of brands. You had
Messi is basically live golf.
Yeah. Well, what you had at the same time, you had Nike, Paris, and Messi. You know, in terms of like 3 iconic brands, that's what you had.
Yeah.
So now what you're going to have is you're going to have Messi, Miami, and Bex. Is it?
Miami.
Yeah.
I know this means nothing to you, but Miami have gained
Galaxy.
6 million followers on socials.
Yeah, that matters. Of
which
course, that
is
matters. Yeah.
huge again, because if you look at like just sales of shirts, like people, loads will be sold through Instagram and things like
I think that happened. That happened in. Is it where did Cristiano Ronaldo play?
Saudi.
Al
Al Ahly.
LA. That happened to them as well. Their socials just sort of changed.
Yeah, I
beyond
follow
recognition.
them.
Yeah.
It's mad. It's mad.
Yeah.
I will go out. I'll go out for a week in Miami. Watch Jimmy Butler. Watch Lionel Messi. I'm up for that. You up for that, Ro?
I'm up for the trip. Yeah. Yeah, why not?
He doesn't sound too keen.
No, I'll go. I'll go.
Vincent, you on it, lad?
Listen, mate, if I get the invite, I'll be there.
Yeah.
That is the invite.
Do you watch any MLS?
No, not now. I watched some of it when Rooney was there because it used to be on Sky.
And weirdly,
so I'd watch it for Rooney as
the
I do.
players hasn't like, you know, if you think about the best ever American players, it's still like
Clint Dempsey,
Tim
Landon
Howard,
Donovan.
Brian McBride.
You're getting a lot more.
Friedel.
You're getting a lot more like the McKennies and all that. You've got a few in Germany at the moment. You've
Yeah.
got the
Kenny wasn't
Canadian
up
lad,
to much
what's
at
his name,
Leeds.
Alphonso Davis
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Like there's
He's
a lot
Canadian,
more
yeah.
footballers coming over from that way. Also, you just look at the media, like TNT
so-
gonna own BT. That's an American company, isn't it? Like you look at what Micah Richards and Thierry Henry and all these guys are doing on CBS. Like it's huge. Football is huge. Football is everywhere. Like this game today there'll be pubs in America with people full of, not many of them, but there'll be loads with like City fans and City shirts on.
Yeah.
And it's like we wouldn't have expected to see.
Do you know what I noticed when I was in London's fashionable West End today? During a cup final, whenever there's a cup final, you will always see. Obviously, you're in central London. There'll always be fans of every. Didn't see.
I'm not just saying this to
League-
wind up fans, but I've seen about 4 or 5 Inter Milan jerseys today on people. I didn't see a single Manchester City fan.
It does feel like
Maybe
the
they're all
most
at the
flat
game.
Champions League final that I can think of for a long time. Like like the most. Yeah, this does feel like slightly. I don't know. Just
Inter
less.
Milan have started extremely well.
They've done really well for the first 20 minutes. Really well.
I don't. That Haaland shot was offside. Other than that, City haven't had a sniff. No one's been in the game
No,
on the
but
City.
I think
front.
City will be happy with this because when they do get the ball off Inter Milan, there's a lot of green grass in behind them, and that will make them think we've got a chance here.
Is he any good, that Darmian?
He started off at United, and for the first couple of weeks, we were calling him the Italian Gary Neville.
Nice, like
He went
it.
to- I love
like
that.
it.
Love a bit of
Jack
that.
Grealish. God.
Yeah, we were calling him the Italian Gary Neville, and then he had a game
chance.
against
Really?
Arsenal, and I think Alexis Sanchez tore him a new one,
Oh, really?
and then it just went west from there.
Yeah.
We won the Europa League and stuff, but it was never the same after that game against Arsenal.
A lot of Villa fans keep talking about signing Wan-Bissaka. Is that happening, or do you sign a new contract?
I think he's going to stay at Man United.
I think it'd be unbelievable in Emirates.
I think it'd be a great signing for whoever gets him. I think he's a very good defender. I think he works on his game, which is good. He has flaws, and I think attacking at times are his flaws, but he'd be a great signing.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. Have a shot next time. What the hell was that?
It's all right, though. It's all right. It's Inter.
You've been linked with him as well, haven't you?
Have we linked with
Martinez.
everybody?
I've been linked. Well, I say I.
Yeah.
United have been
No,
linked with him.
we've actually been linked with him for a long time. Oh, they got in each other's way. That's a shame.
What's the Chelsea situation? Can they actually spend any money now, or
Yeah, I think so. I think
Once
there's
they
going
get
to be a
70
lot.
million out of us for Mount, they will.
There's got. I think we've got to operate a 1-in, 1-out policy.
okay?
It's like a really good nightclub.
I've seen some links with your with your favorite Havertz going
Who's
to
named
Real
back
Madrid.
down and who's not coming in?
Mate,
for it?
Havertz to Real Madrid is. I think that's got to just be an agent's spin. Like he's clearly not. They're talking about. They're
Real
talking about
Madrid
Harry
don't
Kane.
have a striker though.
No, they don't. But Harry Kane is going to be available, And it's so obvious.
Kane is going nowhere outside
I wouldn't
the
be
Prem.
surprised.
He wants that
if
record.
No, he
Kane's
can get the
their main target, but they've got to kind of prep.
Just to jump in there, the Independent reported today that Kane's preference is to stay in England.
He wants the record.
No,
He has
he
no
wants to stay.
trophies. He may as well get the record now.
This is why Harry Kane needs me in his life. He needs to not take the easy option. He needs to do the difficult thing. He needs to put himself first. He's a family man. His missus is pregnant. He's a wonderful father, a doting husband, and he's a geezer. I love Harry Kane. I think he's brilliant. I hate saying that about Tottenham players. But
His missus sound like, no, he isn't.
the man needs to just not take the easy option. He needs to go and play for Real Madrid. Going to Manchester is obvious easy.
Transfer requesting already.
Going to Man United is obviously the easiest option to do. Start talking about this like arbitrary 260, which
Arbitrary 260.
no, which he can get anyway.
What
Which he can get
Why,
anyway.
He comes back for a few
I was
years.
talking
What
to
happens
Adam
if he
about
gets
this.
an injury?
Our podcast will be out
You
on
can't
Wednesday.
leave
where we
England
cover
with
this.
no trophies and no record.
Here's what he can do.
Monday.
Can I tell
Podcast
Vincent now?
Monday.
I feel like I need to say it again.
Podcast Monday.
I can't say it now.
No spoilers.
Podcast Monday. You can tell Finton.
Right, this is what needs to happen. Harry Kane needs to hear this. He needs to go
He
to Real
watches the
Madrid
club.
now.
Everybody
He needs
tag
to go
Harry in the
to
comments.
Real Madrid now, right? Put himself first. Prioritise himself. He is number one. And he needs to secure his own legacy, right? Go to Real Madrid. He's 30 next month. Go to Real Madrid for 3 or 4 years. In that time, you win La Liga twice. You win the old Copa del Rey and you win the European Cup 2 or 3 times.
2 or 3
Right?
times in
This
4
is what
years.
he will do. This is, mate, Camavinga. They did Camavinga 2 years ago. They did Tchouaméni last year. They've done Bellingham this year. They're doing it well, right?
Represent Queens. Raise out.
He's out in Brooklyn, right? Then, in 4 years' time, when he's 35, he comes back, do what Teddy Sheringham did. Teddy Sheringham went to Man United, won the treble, went back to Tottenham. If he loves Tottenham so much, which is mental, but if he does, fine, come back, and in the time between being 34 and 36, score 47 goals and get the record.
We'll get back to that and your thoughts on that shortly. We got a super chat, so Elliot's got to read it.
I was going to let you read it. It's on screen, but fine. It is from
Dorim.
Is it just me, or does this feel like a match you'd expect in the round of 16?
Yeah,
All respect to Inter,
Tim Pot.
but this does not feel like a
Nah,
final.
I'm not having that.
It's like how I felt about the Europa Conference League. I didn't want West Ham to win it. If they do.
I don't
Does
know
he
why.
mean because Man City are in the final and they've no Champions Leagues? Like Inter Milan
If
have
this was
3
Liverpool,
Champions
I'd be
Leagues. They
sitting
won
here
the Italian.
shitting
They
myself.
won the
I don't
Italian
know-
League 2 years ago.
I don't know why,
Or maybe
but
3.
his comment is right. I kind of agree with it. I don't know why I agree with him because it doesn't make any sense. But I'm a lot more flat now than I would be during any other European Cup final
Wait.
of my adult life.
What is going on here?
Oh, that's beautiful football.
What's this idiot phoning me for?
Who?
Mr. One Arm. Look at these idiots. What are these idiots doing?
We've got the club. We've got the club right here. My favourite stream, the club.
Come and watch the club.
The reason I've rang. No, hang on.
Is it to be absolutely brummy?
Adam, the reason I've rang is because they're disrespecting you, bro. They said you look like David Raya. Look at him. Right, Adam.
David Raya. I see what it is. A bit of a tan and a beard, yeah? Should I make you all feel bad? I feel that's a bit racist, should I? What did you call me? Anyway, come and watch us on the club. See you in a bit. Cut that mullet off.
Has Tom got a mullet as well?
No, just Chip.
With Chip on that?
Yeah, what's Chip doing next
Mate,
to him?
we get no love, do we?
Yeah, we don't need
I hear
him.
the Brummy accent. Is he a Villa fan?
He's
West Brom.
He's West Brom. He's West Brom, yeah. West Brom. I used
So
to hate.
brutal.
I used to play Sunday football, and we used to play teams in West Brom. Oh God, the worst people ever. The worst people ever.
That's an unfortunate team to support.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just
It is.
Third biggest team in the Midlands.
like Aston Villa fans don't even really care about them because they're not really a rival.
They were big in like the Cyril Regis and
Yeah.
all them days, isn't it?
It's a long
They
time.
have-
Yeah, that was a long time ago. That
Good ground. I give him that. Good,
Awful.
very good ground. Yeah.
good
away day.
location. To the
Easy
motorway.
enough. Funny.
Get in and out.
Yeah, you can get in and out on the. Yeah, it's not bad off the motorway. Funny little thing that you have to walk through to get out the away end though. You
The
walk
away
down a
end's
little
mad.
village, like a little
The way
tunnel.
end, like to get into the way end, is just separate from the whole other
Yeah.
bit of the stadium. Like away fans could easily not see one home fan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Millwall's like that. Have you ever done Millwall away?
I've never now.
Literally won't
Haven't-
see.
The only time we played Millwall in my memory is in the cup final.
Oh, in Cardiff.
Yeah.
Dennis Wise.
4-0.
Dennis Wise's cup final.
Yeah, Tim Cahill, Dennis
I think
Wise.
Jody Morris played for that. As well.
Jody Morris played.
He played for Millwall. I think Dennis Wise signed him for Millwall.
Ronaldo put on an absolute clinic in that final, didn't he?
Oh my God, what happened there? Was that in play? Was that active?
Yeah, that would have been fine.
Ederson's had a few dicey passes. He looks a little bit nervous.
Relax.
Oh,
see
you
that?
finally
He's
decided
saying-
to wear a suit today, you
Guardiola
mob.
saying relax.
How did you feel about Pep turning up to the Wembley in a hoodie?
Tramp. Absolute tramp. And then then he puts it on for a cup. Then he puts it on for a European Cup.
Yeah.
Shows no respect to the FA Cup. Hope he loses, slaphead.
That's what I was telling you to wait. Well, go on, super chat, got to read it out.
Another super chat. It is from Jojo Sona. Much love to you all. Would Haaland securing the treble mean he overtakes Messi's World Cup in the Ballon d'Or? Potentially no, but maybe it's my
I don't think
Argentinian bias.
I don't think Haaland needs it to win the Ballon d'Or.
I agree.
I think the hardest thing to do is put the ball in the back of the net, and he's doing it on an incredibly regular
Tell you what, it'd be
basis.
some year for that Julian Alvarez. Think about Julian Alvarez. If he wins
Oh,
this.
yeah.
If he wins this, he would have won the league, the FA Cup, the European Cup, and the World Cup.
in one season.
I don't think anybody would have had a year like that.
Whether you believe
one-
that or
there's
not,
one in,
Messi is 100% going
I
to
swear
be
there's
winning
an
the
RG in
Ballon d'Or.
Inter, isn't there? Yeah, I imagine that.
Lautaro.
Lautaro Martinez, isn't there?
Yeah.
He hasn't won all the other trophies, though.
Oh, yeah, shit, yeah. Oh! I thought that went in. Oh, my God.
Good save.
I think
Yeah.
Haaland should score there.
This is horrible.
Oh,
this
you
is
can't
just
dive in
horrible.
like that, man. You can't dive in like I can't talk, but you can't dive in like that.
There's another super chat from Marek, and he says,
Wait,
which Inter players...
one sec.
Let's go. Which Inter players would
No,
you take
you
at your
reacted
club?
before I reacted. Don't do that again.
Which Inter players would you take at your club?
Not Lukaku.
I'd take Lautaro Martinez. We need a striker. If Dzeko was a bit younger, I've always liked him.
Anana, the keeper, man.
Dumfries, we need a.
Dumfries
possibly need a
was
right
linked
back.
with Aston Villa. I don't know if it's a step too far. I feel like he could make a move to the top.
He's
two,
playing in the
three.
Champions League final. You think
I
it's
know.
a step too far?
This is what. Listen, this
I
happened.
think he could make it to the very top, that boy.
I'm talking about it being a step too far for us.
Oh, okay.
I actually am.
Yeah.
I thought you
That's
was
brilliant.
worried about
Yeah.
the whole end.
But this boy playing the Champions League final, if he really wants to test himself, come and play for Emery at Villa.
To be fair, how do you feel about Yuri Tielemans signing for your club?
Yuri Tielemans, incredible free transfer. People might laugh at me when I say this, but I don't think he starts for us on current form. Emery has
You've got Douglas Luiz.
Dougie
Kamara.
Luiz in the middle alongside Kamara. Amazing rotation
Oh,
option.
no.
And if he I say that, but if he gets back to Tielemans from 18 months ago, he'll start to get into
You
the.
know what I think a big thing is of the last 12 months. He's known he's leaving for free. He's got let's say, a 10 million signing on fee coming from Villa, plus they're paying him 50 grand extra a week. He don't want to get injured. You know what I mean? Like,
There's been
really,
some-
that's how I think these people think.
They
These
just
footballers
played
think.
themselves
and I
into
get it.
such trouble.
Oh, that's shocking by Grealish.
And I get it. I totally get it. Like, that could cost you.
I've
You-
seen
you're
some
taking a
videos.
risk
Sir,
not
have you
trying to
seen the
do it.
videos of him tracking back?
Yeah, that's
It's
what I mean.
not great, but I
did
do
that in
think
his-
I
when he
do
was
think
in his
if you
pop.
isolate videos, you can probably catch a lot of players doing that when they're 2-3-0 down and they kind of give it up a little bit. I think he's a good signing. I reckon it saves the money for where we really need to. A lot of talk about Villa trying to push on and repeat what Newcastle have done. So we need a lot of reinforcements on the right. Need a right back. That's why we need.
You got wealthy owners, though, innit?
Yeah.
Apparently,
spend-
apparently
Egypt,
the-
don't they?
yeah, third, fourth richest owners in the league have wanted to spend, but the problem has been this is our first time finishing in the top half in a decade. So we've been throwing money at. We got Coutinho in a little bit past his best. We got Luca Dean in for massive wages, a little bit past his best. Tried to get Basuma, tried to get a few other big names, and they just won't come. And it's hard to convince players to come to a project when you can't get in the top 10.
And are you feeling good about next year?
So
Conference League?
since Emery came in, we have less points than only Man City and Arsenal. We're in an incredible position. The turnaround versus what Stevie G did has been sensational. I think he's an incredible manager. I don't think I've ever seen a better manager at Aston Villa. But Liverpool had a shocking season. Chelsea simply cannot be worse. Newcastle are going to spend more. We finished 7 this year. Maybe with Brighton losing, it looks like McAllister's gone. Casado's been linked away. The top 6 could be on the cards. And if we get, I'd say 2 starters to our starting 11, not like 6, 7 new players. That's not realistic. But if we got Tielemans in plus like a new right back, a new right winger, I think we could really be about there. There's no reason why not. But the top 6 in the Premier League, when all the big teams are on it, it's a really, really big ask.
Because you don't even include Newcastle in that, do you? Like, you know, when you say
Newcastle,
top 6, you don't really, so it's 7.
Yeah, and Newcastle are going to be part of that now.
Yeah, of course.
You know, they're going to go. I
think Villa have got the manager that's settled for Europe, though. Look, Eddie Howe's a bit of an unknown at the moment in Europe. We haven't been able to judge him. Plus, I think we're looking at a different Eddie Howe to who he was at Bournemouth, so it's hard to.
Emery's one of the best managers in the league, 100%.
I'd say
Emery at Chelsea,
one
by
of the
way.
favourites for that competition now.
I thought he was incredibly disrespected when he was at Arsenal. Like if you think about the time and love that Arsenal fans have given Mikel Arteta, they were very harsh on Unai Emery. Unai Emery had that club 5th in the league and in a European final. He left; they finished 8th twice.
Yeah.
They weren't hounding out. They were hounding out Emery. I don't know why, but then with Arteta, 8th twice was fine.
Tough gig to follow the legacy manager. Like Moyes didn't have a chance. I don't think Emery had a big chance following.
I also
Wenger.
think, you know, like I agree with Rory, so this isn't me disagreeing with him. But I think, you know how when you had, I don't think Rafa Benitez was the fair choice because he just didn't get on with the Chelsea fans. I'm trying to think of a manager at Chelsea where the style of football didn't fit in with
Sorry,
the fans.
Sarri didn't work at all.
Sorry,
like I think Emery was there. Sarri isn't a bad manager.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean?
Sarri's an excellent manager.
Yeah,
Sarri's an excellent manager. But yeah, look, if we get the signings correct, we're getting linked with some big names, and it's so hard for me as an Aston Villa fan who's watched us down in the Championship not too long ago to imagine.
By the way, is that
KDB coming off?
Just to mention
the
game, Kevin De Bruyne is going off injured here.
This is
Foden's coming on, so it's a luxury that City have. But
think about what happened in the cup final against Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah.
Do you remember when Rudiger went into Kevin De Bruyne's cheek and then it had a massive impact on Belgium
stayed
as well?
On the pitch for a bit, didn't he?
It had a massive impact on Belgium. It's happened again.
Wait, it's
Kevin De Bruyne gets mentioned.
Kevin De Bruyne is going off.
Oh yeah, but they haven't lost yet.
No, but he's going off again.
Yeah. And the City fans will start to feel nervous.
Incredibly underwhelming in big finals, De Bruyne, really.
Let's calm down.
Unfortunate as well.
Because I don't want to jinx anything.
He looks like he's running just fine now.
He looks like he's doing all right. Is he definitely?
You've got Yuri Tielemans obviously coming in.
Yeah.
You've been linked with Harry Maguire, etc. Aymeric Laporte has been madly
the signings that
Diego Carlos is coming back. Do you think he's going to...
It's hard to say. He was
huge injury, wasn't it?
At Seville, but you've seen it with Van Dijk. When you rupture the ligaments, when you're pushing wrong side of 30, it can be very problematic, but I don't know. He's an unknown quantity. He had a couple of cameos where he was pinging the ball around and it was like, he was a big step up in terms of passing ability from Mings and Konza, but they have both been very, very solid since Emery came in. I reckon the signings I would love, and obviously I'm not in charge. I don't want Maguire, not because nothing to do with like slagging off Maguire. That's easy to do. I don't want.
It is really easy.
I don't want even Laporte because I don't want players that feel like they're taking a step down. Like Tielemans, I would imagine, he's just been relegated. It might not be where he thought he'd get 18 months ago, but it's a step up from where he is, and he has a point to prove, and he's going to be hungry. We were linked very hard with Asensio from Real Madrid, and he's obviously, it's a step up from where we're at, right? He's an amazing player. But if he's coming to Aston Villa, he feels like,
I think Emery's an equaliser in a sense.
Do you think you don't think he allows that to creep in?
Especially you're in Europe, and Emery's speaking to these players going, I've got this plan, that plan.
Yeah, we'll be in the Champions League. Is a conversation.
You've also
Remember,
got the likes of Coutinho's already there. Carlos is already there. You've got some big names.
The Champions League is down to 5th. If the league started when Emery took over, you would have been 3rd.
Yeah, incredible.
But when you say that though, don't you feel that his job at Villa's gone under the radar?
Massively.
Like, because he doesn't. I remember he did one overlap, for example. No one mentioned Villa.
I'm pretty sure now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that he got the same amount.
Foden's on. De Bruyne's on.
Oh, he's gone.
Sorry.
Confirmed. No, way more important to actually call it.
Yeah, the change is made.
Tell you one thing, Phil Foden's an absolutely unbelievable player to be bringing on. I think Phil Foden's so underrated.
He is, but he's not De Bruyne. I can't believe he's happening to De Bruyne again. I feel so sorry.
He may also have an impact on Haaland's runs.
True.
Or not his runs, but him being found by those runs. Can you just say what you were saying again there? Sorry.
So everyone talks about the Zebri from Brighton, and rightly so. The football he plays, the way Guardiola waxes lyrical about him, he's changing the kind of way you allow people to come onto you with a press. But
this is good.
The boys are like, I don't care about Villa.
No, I do.
I don't mean it like that. I just mean that this is so important for you guys. I can see there has
De Bruyne
there has been no belief, right? Adam has just come in here accepting his fate, and look at him getting nervous.
I think this makes City even more favourites now.
Not in a million years.
No,
I'm pretty sure what I was going to say is I think he's got the same amount of points as Brighton did in much less games. And he doesn't really get talked about in the same way. But if we fly under the radar and we can make a couple of signings and there's not the same pressure at the start of the season.
You know what helps Villa as well? The fact he's already been to Arsenal.
Yeah.
Emery. So now no one's going to be like, Arsenal, United, Spurs should get him because that test has already failed. So like, he's your manager now for the foreseeable.
Yeah.
And
I
wouldn't
would
be
love
surprised
him
if
to
he
be
does
there
it
for
more
a
as he
decade.
gets to
I'd
the Conference
love
League.
that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's so hard in the modern era to have a manager for 10 years, but like...
Right. 3 signings you'd have to make after Tielemans. Who would they be? Or what position would they be?
Right back, right midfielder. I would love Dumfries. If it's a step beyond us, fair enough. I would love Wan-Bissaka. Right wing, there's been a lot of talk of Harvey Barnes.
Could get him for cheap.
Wouldn't say no. Do you know who I like? A little bit less. It's very UK based, but like Jack Harrison from Leeds. I think he's a very, very good player. He plays left wing, but I think he could play right wing. And then someone to support Ollie Watkins.
Fantastic.
Bit Brexit that
yeah,
window.
It is a little bit.
I'll tell you what, that press there from Inter Milan, they just exerted so much pressure on that Man City back line. Like every single challenge, every single pass was just 100 miles an hour. They're on it now, Inter. They've really woken up. Come on.
Why didn't the overlap?
It's all right. It's all right.
Man. That was such a shit run by Barella then.
Barella's a baller. You're asking about who? No. But you're asking who you'd sign earlier on. Barella's unbelievable.
Yeah,
that's a shame. There was a good chance.
Centre back as well. What's his name? Barini.
Skinner? No.
Barini.
Definitely not Fabio Barini.
No,
I know who it's not. It's not him.
By the way, Inter Milan have all of a sudden started pinging the ball around like they're all prime backs.
This is lovely stuff.
Bastoni, sorry.
It's got to give confidence to Inter Milan fans when you see Kevin De Bruyne. You just think, because when Inter Milan win this game, every single bit has to go right for them. You know, like every little bit has to be ticked. They're not going to show up on an off day and win. Whereas,
or as long as the game's 0-0, Inter are winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
the mentality, yeah.
Because once this goes 1-0, City's over.
Yeah. Yeah, and the longer it's 0-0, the more likely Inter are to win it. So my prediction of 1-0.
I know that you were saying.
I hope you're right for one.
I know that you were saying that you feel like City would enjoy the fact that Inter Milan have the ball and that they're knocking it around. There's more space, but I think actually City just look pretty poor.
I do as well.
Like it builds the anxiety in the stadium as well, I guess, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The more that Inter
fans will be making a real racket in there.
Yeah. Buvey shitting himself now.
Come on.
Good.
I mean,
he's had a dodgy kebab.
This is just.
Hope his team will lose.
Nothing silly.
Just a dodgy
but
kebab.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Team lose.
Them going. Man City losing Kevin De Bruyne in a final. It's got to be like, you know, if you were playing against this Man City team, watching him go off. If you're in the opposition midfield, you've just got to be over the moon, haven't you?
Haaland, KDB, the 2 danger points that you're just not.
And one of them is no longer on the pitch. Of course, he's replaced, and obviously Phil Foden. And
but also, as you said, Haaland becomes a lot less effective when he's not on the pitch.
Yeah.
Can I just say, by the way, Kevin De Bruyne habitually goes red-faced and bottles these big games. Yeah, habitually, and people still run around and say.
I mean, he's being
injured. Better than this, that, and the other, and all these.
Going off injured. I'm not even. I'm asking genuinely.
But
do you in your definition of like
availability is ability?
Fine. That's. I just wanted to qualify that. So going off injured is we are holding that
against. But I'm adding that to for Belgium at World Cups.
Yeah.
Previous look, he might end up with a trophy today. That's fine. But we've got to have a conversation about that because his peers and the people that they speak about. And put his name next to, they didn't do that.
I mean, Kind of. I
Well,
see
you
the
think
point.
about
I see the
like
point you're
Zidane,
making.
one of the best midfielders in the world, 2 goals in the World Cup final. That goal against Bayern Leverkusen in the Champions League final, like he has those iconic moments in finals. Gerrard, I'm not saying is the best, but like his moment against AC Milan, captain's role.
Even the FA Cup.
Yeah.
West Ham.
Yeah, although De Bruyne has done it in the FA Cup, hasn't he? Do you
He
remember when he
must have.
played?
They've had so many FA Cup wins. He must have.
Yeah.
No, he
just
has. He
forget.
played in that game against Watford. I think he played. He was only on the
Against
pitch for
Watford.
45 minutes.
Against Watford.
Against Watford, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
It's not his fault though. It's not his fault they're Watford.
Like,
But it doesn't. It's not the same.
No,
I watched Troy Deeney's Filthy Fellas about that the other day, actually. And he was like, yeah, we lost 6-0, but like, it was still a great occasion for him and his family. Like, obviously for us, we get that. But it's like, you'd think footballers would just be like, oh, fuck, we lost cup final.
Nah,
Like,
Troy Deeney
my
keeps
grandma was
it
there.
real.
All she knew that Prince Charles was out on the pitch shaking my hand with that. You know, it's like, it's true. It's like, yo, oh man, them just living the dream in it.
Yeah.
Playing football professionally is just the
Yeah.
oh man.
I'd say Rory.
I've never
I'd say
done it, but I know
Rory'd
it's
see
the
it as
greatest thing ever.
Rory'd see it as a bit of an inconvenience if he had to. If he on a Tuesday night, I have to go where?
Yeah.
Can I get home straight after that? Is there a flight at 10 p.m? Because if there isn't, forget it.
I'm not going to sit on that normal bench. Get me corporate.
This game's going to extra time. I have to be off at 90 minutes.
Man City are stroking it about well here.
Or no, Rory, it'd be a bit like Bahamas. He just wins it, cashes, leaves. Like,
Didn't see him again.
they're still giving medals out with Rory. Rory's on a plane with his medal.
Unbelievable.
Great trip. Most expensive place in the world.
Oh,
Ridiculous.
very expensive.
Talking about poker, by the way, obviously everyone will know Finton from poker and easy 4 aces.
Easy with aces. We
Easy with aces, sorry. But obviously you're doing football as well, addicted to footy.
Doing as many
Going
stories
well,
as I
eh?
can. Yeah, it's not
Instagram
going
and
too
stuff.
bad. Just telling my favourite footy stories every day.
No, they're really good, man.
Appreciate that. Adam told me that one of his real life friends was watching my content and everything I felt.
One of my mates, like that went to school and college and stuff, he sent me like a reel and it was him. And I was like, bruv, don't send me this.
Things like that
I ain't
are
watching
funny.
it.
Yeah. When somebody shares something and you're like, I was on that show. Did you see me? Yeah.
Did you not see me
I know
next to
him
you?
in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy who makes my coffee every day is called Adam, and I told him I was going over here. He's been watching you for years. He's obsessed. He'd love you to go in someday in Dublin if you're over.
Yeah, we're
Is
coming.
it the sandwich shop?
It's beside it. It's called 3FE. Great coffee.
Yeah,
Best coffee in Dublin. Other
Love
coffee
that.
establishments are available.
I love that sandwich shop.
Yeah, we'll be there. I love Dublin.
Love
I love Ireland. It's
Yeah.
class.
Great place.
Yeah.
Grealish
the
has been-
Irish Open as well is the greatest.
Oh my God, it's
Poker
so
tournament.
so
What
good.
was you going to say about Grealish?
It's
How
just
do you
been so
feel about
quiet.
him today, by the way? Do you want him to win this Champions League? Do you
Listen,
feel some sort of
I've
success
seen-
with his success?
no.
Like, do you get what I mean by that question?
I understand what you're saying. Like the Birmingham City fans went and retired Bellingham's jersey after he played 14 minutes. Like I don't feel it. I don't feel any anger towards him, but I don't support him. When he left, that was that. I seen someone put it very well. He won his first title with Man City, and I seen on Twitter, it's like going to Amsterdam and losing your virginity. It doesn't really count. He didn't do anything last year to win it. If he was to win it, is it kind of cool? I don't know. Like I don't care. But some Aston Villa fans
Doesn't count.
I don't want Man City. Right. I don't want.
Still a virgin, lads.
I don't want Man City
That's
to
a
win the
joke.
league, but it's not because of. Sorry, I don't want Man City to win the Champions League, but that's not because of Grealish. You know. Do you know? I was sad when he went to Man City and he was so bad and he was flopping.
He wasn't flopping.
He was
I
flopping
get what you
compared to the 100 million.
People will say
mean.
he was.
That was the narrative.
It's okay. He was flopping in my mind because I thought when he went to Man City, he was going to step it up. He was going to be the best
you know
player
him and
in
Sancho?
the league.
They both went to the wrong clubs.
If
Sancho's made for City
I know.
and players being around him, passing, moving,
know.
sharp. Because United fans seem to think he's just a sprinter and he runs and he's fast. He's not.
If-
He needs passing and moving. And Grealish is built for Old Trafford.
if Grealish
Like he genuinely.
if Grealish had went to United when Solskjaer was there, he would have been
it was when
a
we
world
signed
but he
Donny
wouldn't
van
work.
de Beek.
He wouldn't work. He
You
wouldn't.
know what happened? We went for Grealish, and I think Villa said 60 million at that point because you just stayed up. You were
Yeah.
about to go down, you stayed up.
He kept them up.
And yeah, but if they went down, we would have got him for like 30, 40 mil. He stayed up. We only had 40 million. We couldn't afford him. We got Donny van de Beek. It's like, bro, if you just spent that 15 million extra.
Tottenham could have had him for 20 million quid, and they offered us 3 million and Josh Onoa.
Remember that? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was that when you went down?
That was when we went
initially?
down and we were on the verge of going bankrupt. And then
Was that Randy Lerner?
yeah, no, sorry, Dr. Tony.
Yeah.
Was that the one after?
Yeah. He we were not far off administration. Not far at all. But I think that Grealish doesn't work for Ten Hag the way you think he does. I think it's too systematic. I think it's too similar to Guardiola. I think if he had went there under Solskjaer, he would have looked like the best player in the world. Because Solskjaer would have been pure vibes, lads. Get out there, and enjoy yourself.
And you know what was good for him?
He loved, by the way, he loved United.
He loves United, and I've seen all his tweets.
Yeah.
I've got loads of them saved.
Yeah. All the tweets about the oil money and the city, and then they're all deleted.
I think he was a little bit, just because he grew up at Villa and all that. Obviously, his family are Villa fans, but I think he had a big soft spot for Man United, and it would have been nice to see him. I think a lot of fans as well. You could tell he loved Beckham. That's probably where
he loved Ronaldo. He loved Ronaldo as well.
Yeah.
He quoted him a few times saying, "I want to be the guy who everyone's booing and just shutting them up with goals."
Yeah, when you're a kid at school, like you want to be the Jack Grealish type player, don't you?
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah,
that's getting. Oh,
I saw Rory down at Tesco end yesterday with the hairband on.
Had to be
He
done.
still wants as well.
He still wants to be the Grealish.
Yeah. No, I still. Do you know? It's the one dream that I'm not ready to let die ever. Like I will score a goal for Chelsea in an FA Cup final.
Gotta tell you, son, time's running out.
I used to have a recurring dream.
By that though, it's run out.
You're a few years older than Ian Wright when he
but by that, it's run out. But I have to. I can't
wake up in the morning and not believe.
I can't believe that won't ever happen. I'm like David Beckham. You know how David Beckham said he will always be available for selection, no matter what. If Manchester United or England need David Beckham, he will come running.
Yeah, he won't retire from it.
That's like me. I am always available. I will always be available for Chelsea or England.
I'd say Beckham do a better job on the right wing than Anthony.
Probably
would. Yeah.
Complete more.
I'd like to see David Beckham play.
He's still got it. I've not seen it, but he's still got it.
You know, if David Beckham, I know that he's probably still got it. You know how I know he's still got it, actually? I played with Clayton Blackmore, and he was a bit of a set-piece specialist. He was so good.
Was he?
Just pinging him in. I'm like, imagine you're David half-time here, by the way. 0-0. Let's forget David Beckham. Let's talk about the game. 0-0.
Perfect.
Champions League final.
Perfect.
Kevin De Bruyne has gone off injured. I can't hear the ground at the moment, but I imagine the tone around them has changed.
The Inter fans will be really proud and really happy. I think the Man City fans will be a little bit underwhelmed, but still full of belief that they can do.
Is this a missed opportunity this first half by Inter? Because it felt like
I feel what you're saying.
City don't play that bad again. I
reckon Guardiola's got to change something at halftime, and maybe they'll regret the fact that they weren't great in the final third.
Wait, sorry, who did you ask there? Is it a wasted opportunity for who?
Inter. Because you feel Man City won't play as maybe bad as they did in the
No, I don't think they've missed an opportunity. I think they've done really well.
Okay.
I think they've done really well. Inter.
It's not going to be over by 60 minutes. I was
suggesting that. I did feel like it would be 2-0. Well, it still could be 2-0 by 60 minutes with the way City play.
Guardiola probably wants to change it, but given that...
Change what, though?
I was going to say, given that KDB's gone off and Foden's on, if he brings another player on, it's going to really change the shape of the entire team.
Let's have a look at their bench.
Maybe Walker.
You've got Kyle Walker, who would bring a completely different dynamic.
Potentially.
If he replaced one of the centre-backs that you've got. They've got Alvarez on the bench, Gomez, Laporte.
I don't think Alvarez can come on.
Mahrez
is a show, maybe.
Mahrez would be good in terms of keeping the ball high up the pitch and holding it there. Maybe not as good as in terms of linking up with Haaland. Palmer, Peroni, Phillips, Walker. Walker, really? You were looking at Walker, Mahrez, Alvarez? Those are the ones.
Maybe they try and change the shape. But to be honest, I reckon Guardiola halftime, you've seen him on the touchline like begging for Cam, and I would guess that he'll just try and get it into their head to start pinging the ball around and doing what they do best. But what I mentioned earlier on about them not looking great since they won the league, the intensity is not there, and maybe that's a product of what Inter Milan are doing. Like, I think Inter Milan are getting slept on a little bit. Their press is very effective, but the prediction for Big Rom to come on and stretch that defense, because City will probably have to start going for it a little bit more. And like, Big Rom's not a back-to-player goal. Rom is a danger. He's a danger when there's space to run into. So maybe if Rom comes on, he reacts by bringing Walker on to counteract it.
That's what a lot of people get wrong with Lukaku, because they see such a big
unit man,
and he's number 9. They think he's a backs-to-goal man who needs the ball to his chest and his head. He needs the ball to feet, and he needs to
Conte
spin.
was the only one who done it.
This is perfect, actually. You bring up Lukaku. Inter have done everything right here. They've frustrated City. They've neutralised them, and now They can bring on Lukaku to spin in behind, to push the back line.
What would Buvey say if he was here? What would Buvey say needs to be done?
He would be saying keep calm and carry on, I think, because that's what Man City need to do. They're still the better team. They're still the better players. They're still favourites. They need to just do what they can do. I'm over the moon. The only thing that I'm slightly disappointed by, I thought the worst thing that could happen to us today was to come here and watch Man City win 5-0.
I hope that kills your Rory.
But it's not. The worst thing that could happen is to come here today, watch City play quite poorly and win somehow, even win 1-0.
I think first goal wins this as well. Like, if there's a goal in the second half, you're winning. Whoever scores first, you're winning. If Inter Milan score first, you've won. If City score first, it's going to be 3-4-0.
I don't think that's true if Inter score first. Obviously, it does them a massive favour, but I don't think it's over. I think if Man City go 1-0 up, I do think it's over. I mean, my prediction is 1-0 Inter, so I desperately hope that can happen.
Imagine the week when we're not playing Super 6 and predicting scores, you get one.
I know,
right.
Finally get one right. Also, one that nobody else.
Have you not got the best of records, Rory?
No, I won.
Oh, you did?
I won our thing, yeah. But it's hard game.
It's tough.
Yeah, really hard.
Especially.
But the reason why that would be a good one in that game is because the way that you can actually accrue a lot of points is by predicting something that other people don't get right. Okay. So if you were to say last day of the season when Brentford beat City, none of your mates will have picked up any points on that one. And if you get that one right, you're going to
bang it.
Yeah.
Nadir asks, what do you boys think about McKola to Liverpool?
Mate, I've got a lot of grief. I said I didn't think it was like a great signing. I said I think it's quite uninspiring considering that they were linked with Jude Bellingham they've been linked with Jude Bellingham for about a year.
What I've seen is the Bellingham fee, as we saw when he went to Madrid, was starting to get into that astronomical side where Liverpool's midfield is so poor and so aged. Now, I know they've had great careers, but they're at the point where they need to bring in 2-3 fresh faces in just the middle of the park. I don't think they could afford to splash it all on Bellingham.
In the end, Bellingham didn't go for... I don't know if you pay an English tax. I don't know if there'd be a sort of... if he'd ended up going to Liverpool, I don't know if it would have worked out dearer. But ultimately... I think that Bellingham went for a very affordable amount of money.
An affordable amount of money, but Liverpool need 3 midfielders, and I don't think Liverpool have 250 million quid to spend. And if they get those
other 2 midfielders, I think McAllister is a very shrewd signing.
McAllister
his flexibility in terms of the amount of positions he can play. He's perfect for Klopp as well.
He didn't start the first game in the World Cup against Saudi Arabia. Argentina lost it, and because of that, McAllister gets brought into the squad. They look like a different team, and I believe he was excellent. And at Brighton, he looks excellent, but there's just that little asterisk beside Brighton players who seem unbelievable in that system. Can they go and recreate it elsewhere? Because
the pressure
Basuma
increases when you move from
sure, without doubt.
Just think about how good you have to be to rejuvenate this Liverpool midfield. Keita, Henderson, they're all gone. They're all sort of coming towards their end.
Van Dijk's not the player he was. I know that.
Van Dijk's not the player he was. Trent Alexander-Arnold, there's a lot of question marks being asked. The front line isn't anything like what it was when there was Firmino and Mane. I thought that what they needed was a Jude Bellingham. Like a statement signing, a marquee player to come in and drag the team by the scruff of the neck back to the top of the league.
Oh, I think
McAllister ain't that.
On that.
I reckon 35 million quid. If he was,
as long as they make the other signings, I think it's a very good.
But who?
They've been linked with Gravenberch, for example. They've been linked with a couple of different midfielders. Thuram's another one they're being linked with at the moment. Marcus Thuram. I think if you get 2 or 3 midfielders, and you've also already got Thiago.
Bellingham went for less than 100 million quid. You're going to get 10 years worth of service.
There's add-ons which take that over.
Bellingham might not want to go anymore. It might not.
No, I think that's true.
He was no Champions League football. Maybe he realised that even though he loved.
Maybe it was
Gerrard.
less their decision.
But they ruled. Do you remember they ruled themselves out? Liverpool ruled themselves out.
I'd be ruling myself out of dating Margot Robbie or something. But
that was after you found out she got married, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Shit,
that's not on the cards anymore.
Yeah, they found out he was going to Real when that happened. I think.
I'm glad. I'm very happy that Bellingham has not gone to Manchester City.
Mate, imagine Kane and Bellingham. Kane and Bellingham at Real Madrid.
It'd be like Jonathan Woodgate and Gravison.
And Michael Owen.
David Beckham and Michael Owen's not a million miles from that, right?
Yeah, to a degree.
They definitely cross paths there.
Yeah.
Zachary Kazi, sorry if I've said your surname wrong, says all love for the lads from Tennessee.
I'd like to go there.
Did the US men's national team make a huge mistake not going for Henry as their head coach? Me personally, I think.
Were you joking? He's
was
dreadful.
He was horrible at Red Bulls.
He's
wasn't he?
absolutely dreadful. No, you dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
Thierry Henry. God,
How do you
man.
feel about Thierry Henry? You must hate him.
Dreadful.
You hate him, innit?
Because of the handball. Yeah, not great, but it's a lot of time has passed. But it's
I
hard.
don't like this attitude.
No, you can't.
I don't like what you're
So
doing.
Time
here.
should make it worse.
I don't like
here's the
this.
thing,
You're
right?
being very
Here's the
mature and rational
Here's
and
the thing.
adult, and I
You-
don't.
You're
like
not
it.
invited
You're
back
not.
on the
This
club.
isn't how. This isn't how we do things here. There is no room for maturity and adult approach to football. Can you be irrational and be a child, please?
You vibe it
I
up, please.
hated him so much at the time. I hated him beyond anything you could imagine. But when he was still playing, I hated him as well. Like I really hate him. Like there was calls at the time for that game to replay it. Like Irish people were
It was
on the
mental
streets. We
petitions.
were
Yeah, yeah.
fuming, and rightly so. And the way he did it, I was so angry. But when I take that away, do you know what? If Thierry Henry was, who's a good example? If Thierry Henry was Francis Jeffers and he did that, I would like hate him with all fibre of my being. But
There's so much
he
to
was,
love about
but he was
Henry.
so good at football. I think he's arguably the best Premier League footballer ever. He was utterly incredible.
Is there
He
not
was,
an argument that is very Luis Suarez against Ghana, and it's like you hate him, but with a bit of
Yeah,
respect?
yeah,
in
yeah.
it?
Do you know what? Do you know
Admiration.
what I don't like about it? Right, is Luis Suarez was so blatant and he got caught and he like celebrated it, but like Thierry Henry like was down consoling our players
Yeah.
after the game, and it's like he played.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
joking
can't
with
be
the
both.
ball.
Own it.
You're
Own
the
it.
villain or you're the hit. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't be
Run
both.
around and whip your top off. Do a full Ryan
Yeah,
Giggs
yeah.
around the Stade de France. Like
Yeah.
let's see it. Like I don't want this like half-assed.
I agree. You can't.
Yeah, embrace the
yeah.
bad guy. But him,
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't do
Thierry
you can't
Henry
do it
has
and then
that,
sort of
a
apologise.
bit that about him though, doesn't he? Like he is a little bit on the Suarez side without ever owning up to
I
it.
don't think,
Most winners are.
I don't think. Yeah, that's what I was about to say, mate. I don't think that you can get to the level of footballer and to the very top
Yeah.
without.
You have to have a bad
Well,
side.
do you know? I remember Danny Mills talking about this. Like Danny Mills on his ankle, it's got like a viper scar. And when he was asked about it, he was talking. He said something like the way that he kind of dismissed it. He was like, "Oh, it's Dennis Bergkamp, but we all know what Dennis is like," and then kind of carried on. I was like, "What? I never really. Hang on, I need to hear more here." It's like, well, yeah, Dennis Bergkamp, as well as being arguably the best
Up
player
there.
to have played in the Premier League, filth.
Yeah, he was snide. He was snide.
Utter filth.
Man, the thing that we
You
don't
have to be.
realise
Them
is
Dutch
that
fellas are as well. Give
Van
it.
Nistelrooy was.
Yeah,
Do you
give
remember
it.
when Van Nistelrooy did it to Ashley Cole?
Down on his knee. Accident.
do you know, if you want a good laugh, go watch the Charity Shield between Manchester United and Arsenal when it was at the height of the hatred. First 4 minutes, there's like a challenge.
Which one? We had
from Stoke.
loads of them.
I don't. I just
they
need.
He's played
I-
every year the charity shield.
I know. I'll find a clip and I'll send it to you. It's 90 minutes of like challenges that would be season long
Is it the one where we
bans
lost?
now.
Is it 98-99, 3-0?
I
And
couldn't-
Arsenal had the
I
white,
didn't-
yellow shirts on.
Adam, I didn't
JVC.
notice. Yeah, they're wearing the yellow shirts. I didn't
Have you
notice.
just seen? Have you just seen? Like
I've just seen the
I think we
tackles.
lost
I've not
3-0.
seen the goals.
Yeah.
But like Paul Scholes makes challenges that would get him arrested today.
Yeah. There's an amazing rivalry between. I mean, it's got a little bit soft lately.
Do you remember when Fergie sat on stage with Wenger and was telling us how much he loved him? That's when you knew
Yeah,
He's
it
dead.
was over. Yeah,
he's
yeah.
dead.
But there
That
was
was
a
the
game,
best rivalry in the
there
game
was
when
a
I was
game.
growing up.
Was it 1991? There was a fight at
The
Old
Brian
Trafford.
McClare one.
Brian McClare, Paul,
with,
Nigel
Winterburn.
Nigel Winterburn, Paul Merson, David Rocastle, Paul Davis, and both teams got point stocked.
Really?
Like it was a proper. Imagine getting point stocked. Manchester United playing against Arsenal in the league at Old Trafford. The fight was so severe that
Do you know
both teams
Chucky
had a point
started all
dock.
that and got away with everything?
Who?
Chucky, Brian McClare got
McClare.
away with all of that.
Did he?
Like
Look,
when we do
Nigel
our live
Winterburn-
shows, he tells a lot of stories from that game.
Nigel Winterburn was very involved.
Yeah.
Do you remember Nigel Winterburn, who then had a fight with Paolo Di Canio around the ref getting sent off, the ref getting pushed over?
Yeah, that was mad.
I think
Canio was a weird one, weren't he?
Amazing player.
Canio
Di
was
Canio.
amazing.
Amazing player.
He
He's one
was
of those
incredible.
players. If you ever talk to anyone,
When I was younger, sorry to cut
No,
across
no,
you,
sit-
but when I was younger, everyone else would be screaming the Gerrard or whoever, the Rooney, whatever. But the Canio, I refused
The
to kick
Di
the
Canio-
ball
The
any other way
yeah.
until
The karate
Ronaldinho did the toe poke against Chelsea. Tried that for weeks on end. My manager was like, "I'm gonna have to drop you."
He went down in my estimation when he
caught the ball and
Caught
was
the
being
ball
too
and didn't
charitable.
score,
Yeah,
yeah.
don't do that. Score. What
So
are you
Johnny,
I've learned-
Johnny
I've-
Sack cries at the thing. He's like,
Yeah.
it's plummeted in my estimation.
Yeah.
You've got to score that.
You've got to score that. Yeah.
You
That was
can't,
at
you
Goodison
can't, you
Park,
can't be
wasn't it?
pushing refs and then catching the ball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can't.
yeah.
I've learned the club rules now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking Thierry
But
Henry.
yeah, he. Do you know what's quite funny again about that game? When Paolo Di Canio, I think it was against Wimbledon, Paolo Di Canio scores that ridiculous goal. In that same game, I swear to you, Trevor Sinclair scores an absolute blinder. Like one of the best goals that, like bearing in mind, he scored the best bicycle kick that has ever been recorded to living memory, right? The best, every bicycle kick needs to be measured on the Richter scale of Trevor Sinclair. It's the Trevor Sinclair Richter scale of bicycle kicks. In this game against Wimbledon, he scored a goal that was just not as good, just a little bit worse than that.
No one's ever talked
No one's
about
ever mentioned. No, because of what Di Canio did, no one even knows. No one even knows that Trevor Sinclair scored in that game.
It's obviously not to the same level, but Maradona's second goal against England, after
Yeah,
handball,
yeah.
it got brushed under the carpet a little bit, but
Peter Reid, idiot. Peter Reid, like running on. What are you
look
doing?
like Yuri Tillman.
Yeah. This is so good. I'm so up for this. I'm so up for this now.
Oh, man.
Come on,
I
Inter.
think this hope's killing us.
Hey, this is it. The spirit of Internazionale.
What is Tim
Please.
Edmund doing there?
Is that Tim Henman?
It's Henman Hill.
That's Tim Edmund.
That's not Tim Henman.
That's Tim Edmund.
Why he got a big face nowadays?
Wait, what? Why are they...
Oh, they're at Roland Garros.
Why are they
We thought
promoting-
it was. Why's Tim Henman doing a football commentary in Istanbul?
Have they just hijacked BT Sport
Oh,
and
man.
promoted their own channels? That felt
Must
like
be
it
on
was
BT Sport, no?
competitors. Nah, it said Discovery Plus or something.
Oh, it'll all be part of the
Discovery's
same thing,
TNT.
innit? TNT, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Come and give us...
Do you know
TNT,
what,
sign us
right?
up.
You see how Jolie and Lescott is the voice here? You know when they were in the
Talk
studio?
about players Villa fans don't like. Now you're getting up there.
Jolie and Lescott.
Oh, yeah.
But mate, he's got to feel imposter syndrome there, hasn't he? Like he's in a room with Cesc Fabregas, Mario Balotelli. How's Jolie and Lescott? Rio Ferdinand. How's Jolie and Lescott got himself in there?
This is the problem with Manchester City is they just don't have the people
Jake
yet.
Humphries is there, though. We make him feel better.
They get Paul Dickoff on next.
Yeah, no, they don't. They're going to have an amazing set of
Yeah,
legends
in 20
10 years' time.
Yeah, 10 years even, yeah.
But
Yeah, you see the other day when they walked out of the cup final and Fergie's greeting all the United players and everyone's walking past Mike Summerby like, I don't know who this is.
yeah,
Just keep going, just keep going.
yeah. It's what I said in the group today. I was like, "Where's Kit Simmons?" Or
Man, Paul Dickoff, I reckon they need to wheel him out.
Paul Dickoff's done very well.
Is, I keep saying this every time his name's brought. He's such a nice guy, man. Such a nice. He's the most surprisingly nice guy I've ever met.
Look, Guardiola's getting all he's all emotional and
Do you
animated.
think he's gone into his head now at
I hope
half
so.
time and
Really
tinkered
hope so.
too much?
I think he's
Because
done,
that's what he's got the ability
mate,
to do.
I reckon he's done
tinker
something
in game,
wild.
innit?
Yeah, done something wild. He said for this halftime chat, nobody speaks. It was like something mental. Yeah, nobody speaks. Sit here in silence 15 minutes.
Just look at the picture of the Champions League trophy.
Yeah. I don't want to hear one word. Yeah. We're gonna do it all there in front of the cameras.
Super chat, we've got to read it out. Inter's defence will break like Tom's arm in the second half.
Oh, dear.
I'm not ready to laugh about that. I was so upset.
I
about
am.
that.
I refuse to ever watch
am.
it.
I've never
you
seen
shared,
that.
You shared a clip and there was a
No, I
noise.
did not. No, I shared a clip when there was a noise and that upset me.
Yeah.
I've never seen
the
with
Lewis
my-
clip. Funnily enough,
Yeah.
Lewis was recording himself for the whole show.
I know. He thinks he is the main man. Lewis, he thinks he is the star. I swear.
I know Elliot records himself every
No,
night.
but do you
He
know
doesn't.
every single pitchside Instagram clip starts with Lewis the Geordie. And this is what I think about it. And then he
I
clips
replied
in.
to one of his
Theo
tweets the other
Baker's
day.
got 1 million subscribers, mate. It's his podcast. Do you want to let him? No, I don't.
I replied to his tweet the other day, like, another clip of the producer, is
Yeah.
it? Like,
What's the guy's name from Newcastle? Do you know the guy who makes himself the centre?
Lewis.
Oh, it is, yeah.
His name's
sorry,
Lewis.
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was going to say, makes himself
Lost
the
my
centre
mind.
of attention.
Lost my mind.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Fuck Lewis. These Newcastle fans are doing my Sweden these days, you know. You know what I mean as well?
They're on
Like,
my case at the moment.
you know how no one cares really what's going on with Man City? They're doing my fucking head in. They ain't even won nothing yet. It's like, bloody hell.
I don't. Yeah.
Anyone that went through Brucey Ball, aka Steve Bruce Ball, has a little bit of sympathy from me. The fans, not the club.
Steve Bruce Ball to me means something else.
I know.
He's winning
The,
doubles.
the head of goal that stopped Villa winning the league. My dad still talks about it.
Yeah,
47 minutes of added on time in that game.
Would Villa have won the league that year? Yeah.
Similar to what happened this year with Arsenal.
Who was managing them? Brian Little?
No, Ron Atkinson.
Ron.
Ron Atkinson. Similar to what happened this year, Villa pushed United the closest, but United did exactly what they did under Fergie. Like, United were 8th that year, and then they signed Cantona.
Yeah.
And they just went on a ridiculous...
People don't realise Cantona's record is he won the league at Leeds, came to United, won the league.
Won the league in France the year before
Got
he left, I'm
suspended,
pretty sure.
we didn't win the league. Won the league. It's like...
No, he was...
Nobody had done that until N'Golo Kante did it. N'Golo Kante won the league at Leicester and bought the league title with him from Leicester to Chelsea.
And his kind of felt like it was obviously incredible achievements, but he won like the World Cup and that as well. So it kind of felt like he was doing more at a club level, but Cantona's record.
But Villa collapsed at the end of the season, similar to Arsenal this year.
You used to challenge for the league a lot, even under John Gregory.
we were right up and down.
That Daly and Atkinson, Dean
Dwight
Saunders,
York.
Tony Daly. Is that good? Yeah, Dwight York was
Little bit
like
later.
Savo
Stan was a bit
Milosevic
later,
team.
wasn't he?
Mark Bosnich, my favourite player ever.
My dad did...
He was.
I'm
we
from
signed
Birmingham.
him.
And my dad, that was for the chat, used to obviously not. My dad used to rent and sell properties. And he used to rent properties to... he rented an apartment to Juan Pablo Angel.
Mate,
He's
if you
great.
talk about heroes for me, I have the program of when Juan Pablo Angel made his debut, and that is like a prize.
It's a great
possession.
chant. They used to
I
give it out, didn't
loved
they?
him.
One Pablo Angel. It's only one Pablo Angel.
Says
Do you remember the
Chelsea,
Savo
Chelsea,
chant?
Chelsea.
You'd miss a chance to sit here and they would go, Savo,
Savo.
Savo.
My cousin.
Kind of like an adjective.
My cousin, everybody calls him Savo. Like, my cousin's surname is Polish. Like, his surname's Veloskovic. But everyone calls him Savo because nobody could say, yeah.
One of my very good friends is an Aston Villa fan, and his dad was a West Ham fan on Boxing Day years and years.
You just got the wrong claret and blue.
So no,
like,
so they turned on the TV. He's watching it. Savo bangs in a hat trick, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to support this club." And his dad's like, "That's not West Ham. It's Aston Villa." And to this day, Villa fan. The Italians playing the tricks. I love this.
How did you get into your family?
Family's all from Birmingham. Yeah, I was over at my nan's on Tuesday. Still go to Birmingham very regularly. Go to as many Villa games as I can. I haven't said this too many places, but I love Beckham so much that supported United till I was about 6-7, and then the first time I actually seen Aston Villa, the connection just was different to anything else.
But it's easy for you to support United living in Ireland, isn't it? It's
I love Beckham.
Everyone
I love Peter
supports
Schmeichel.
Celtic, Rangers, and United or Liverpool. Like most people have a Premier League team. And
Roy Keane. I loved Roy Keane as well. There was a lot of players I liked.
Yeah,
there,
Dennis Irwin was there.
Yeah.
You look at United's Irish history. That's why I want Evan Ferguson, by the way.
Sorry, while we were on about chants, I don't know if Rory had seen the AI chant that was made up for McAllister, and Liverpool used it to announce him the other day. I can play it for you if you want.
Go on.
But AI made this chant for...
So someone typed into AI, can you make a chant for Alexis McAllister to the tune of?
It was a 90s tune, Ecuador by Sash.
Absolute banging tune, by the way.
Yeah.
Are we going to get done for this music?
Not once it starts singing.
I'll sing with it.
Sing now, please. Oh, I can't.
I like it.
It's very Euro trash, isn't it?
Yeah. It'll go on the cop though. It'll go. That's good.
Someone give that to Man City fans, because why are these twats singing the Alanga song?
I remember when
Fucking knob.
I was singing that a lot.
Jesus
We
Christ,
played
man.
Ecuador. England played Ecuador in Germany, I think.
Where's Buvey?
And that was our...
Did David
I think,
Beckham score a free kick to win
free
that
kick.
game?
Yeah.
Against Ecuador, yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that.
Ecuador.
Remember that Mario Gomez button that people used to press? I remember that. The Mario Gomez song whenever he used to score. There used to be a button, and it was a song dedicated to Mario Gomez. So funny, man. The Mario Gomez song.
No, there's a terrible song doing the rounds at the moment for City.
It's the fake
The
Alanga
boys in blue, and we're coming after you.
It's the fake Alanga
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
But we
Bad,
sang.
'cause it doesn't fit.
We sing Anthony Alanga, come from Scandinavia, like to the tune of Rhythm is a
Yeah.
Dancer. And then-
No, they do one about that. Oh no. So you just can't do this. You
Bernardo
can't
Silva's
invite
been
pressure.
given the ball in the box. Inter.
That's good. It's good.
Inter have closed it down. and
Get
got
rid,
it.
nothing wrong with getting rid of it, mate.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
wow. He only
beautiful.
tried to win a foul, didn't he?
Yeah. I'm a very keen proponent of the theory, if in doubt, kick it out.
Yeah.
Like, just get rid of the ball when you're in your own box, especially against this City.
Aston Villa fans struggled with that so bad with Emery. I was at a few games, right? The boys, we've got Tyrone Mings and Konza, and they've adapted extremely well now since. But in the first few games of trying to ping it around the back, we gave away quite a few chances. And you're just in the Holt end, and then the noise is out of some of those 6-year-old lads trying to get Tyrone to boot the ball. And he's playing at 6 yards under pressure. And I've never seen dads
it's
angry.
a nightmare, isn't it? It's a nightmare. Do you know? I remember when Tuchel was trying to encourage Edouard Mendy to play out from the back, and you're just like, he can't do this, mate. He can't.
And you know what? Sometimes the players
They
allow
know
themselves to listen to the crowd.
Yeah,
So they go back, oh shit!
yeah.
That's
The
your
manager pays your wages. Spent all week telling you this is what you do, drilling it into you. This is what you do. Some idiot who's been in a pub since 11:30 go get rid of it. Go bang. All right.
And do you know what? Sometimes it gets the loudest cheer in the stadium when they finally do it.
Yeah, get rid of it. Oh, play, son.
You know what? Yeah, we played Man City. I can't remember who it must have been Ollie, and we had Phil Jones and Smalling, and we kept trying to play out from the back with them, and De Gea kept giving them the ball in the 6-yard box. We'd make a pass, lose it, and it'd come back, and for about 15 minutes, we just kept putting ourselves under the cushion. It's like, lads,
You learn from this,
someone needs to take control of this and just hoof that.
But there is something ridiculous about asking players to do stuff that they clearly aren't capable of doing. Like Edouard Mendy desperately doesn't want the ball at his feet. He doesn't really want it anywhere near his hands or his body, but he really doesn't want it anywhere near his feet. We went away to Ellen Road at the beginning of this season. They battered us 3. Bearing in mind they went down, right?
That's a foul.
Oh, that's a bad tackle by Gundogan.
How was that not foul?
Do you hear? By the way, I'd like everyone at home to know the level of Adam's anger because he's starting to believe. There was none of that in the first half, but now that he thinks there's a chance,
there's something there now. Yeah.
If they score now, I'd be gutted.
Yeah. If City score, we'll employ the 2-goal rule. City are winning by 2, we turn it off.
Yeah.
We'll just put something else on. We'll do a live watch along of the Antiques Roadshow or something.
Yeah. We'll get Rory to react to videos of Megan Thee Stallions twerking.
I'm not watching it. I'd rather watch Tom break his arm. I'll go nowhere near that.
By the way, that do YouTube give out awards and that? That needs award, doesn't it? Tom breaking his arm. Most surreal. I don't know. That was mental, man. Someone give him an FBA or something.
It's horrific. It was horrific. It was like actually painfully like wounded
I seen it
watching
live as well, and I nearly puked.
how's he getting on? Is he recovered?
I think he's
No,
all right.
he
He's
was knocking
upstairs.
about with
He's just
Seydorf
phoned
the
him
other
up.
day.
He's just phoned him up, so he's all
He
right.
was knocking about with Seydorf with his arms just. One looks like a chicken wing, but he's all right. He'll get
Because it won't have any muscle. He won't have done any work on it for.
Yeah, one of his arms looks like mine, and the other one looks like his normal arm.
Oh mate, it's just absolutely horrific. Theo Baker, the killer that
He
is
loved
Baker.
it as well.
Mate, I loved
He
it.
loved it.
Mate, when they were in the hospital, Tom's on the like drip and that, and Tom's on the drip and he's gone. Here's the man that did it, and he pans the camera to Theo Baker. And anyone who knows him knows he's so lovely, like he's such a gentle man. Theo Baker just looks into the lens and goes, like, showing his muscles.
You know what I love about the picture of them both? You can tell they've both been. Theo's been gutted,
Yeah,
crying and that.
mate.
Tom's in pain. I don't know how, mate. I don't know.
Oh, that's a good
I
foul.
don't know. Have you ever broken something? Touch wood.
Touch wood, no.
A few times.
No,
few times.
Proper. I've had like
Nose.
Nah, a few
cracked
times.
bones and fingered, but they don't count.
I used to play in
What?
goals, few arms.
Oosh.
Like you've seen it. Like you've
Yeah,
like how
cracked it, snapped it,
no,
gone.
but
Snapped.
you've seen them. Your arms change shape.
Yeah, like it's loose and
Oh, that's just fucking. That's do you know I have a
I remember
very sensitive constitution.
playing
I could
Irish
faint
football
off
like
the back of
Gal
this
one time. I overstretched it and the
I
ball
love
just
Gaelic
clipped
football.
it and it just knocked it bang out of place.
I remember seeing someone's ankle get broke playing football, and he had like. Remember when people used to tape their socks up,
Yeah.
and they had all that to get through, and that, and I was just thinking like that is
Come on.
no good for you.
Come on, switch it.
Oh, you can't.
Ah,
Oh,
mate, it was a good hit in the end.
it was
Pinged
going in, I think.
It's definitely going in. Moved 4 yards. Definitely going in. Where's Lukaku? Get him on now.
Where's Dzeko?
Dzeko's been non-existent in this game.
Yeah, but Dzeko.
Come on, Inter!
Dzeko's not the kind of lad who's playing beautiful football
No, he
around the
needs to
box.
be on
Like,
the end of
he's-
something,
He's
doesn't he?
just going to be there, and he'll be in the right place at the right time.
Come on, Inter.
Inter have done this a lot more than I ever expected them to do.
They've done,
You know, had
done
the
so
ball.
well, mate.
Like all the
I think they've
players.
been- I think they've been
all the-
excellent.
Everyone's in
Been a
City's
better
half,
team.
yeah.
They've been a better team. They've done so well. Come on, Inter.
Oh,
So when did they... 10, wasn't it? 10. They've knocked us out on the way.
The Mourinho.
The Mourinho, yeah, in the Bernabeu. It's in the Bernabeu, isn't it?
Last before that, Dzeko's down, by the way.
They won back-to-back titles in the 60s. I think it was 64, 65.
Okay.
And Dzeko just wasting a bit of time because he knows it's big Rom time.
Because there's so much. There are so, you got AC for example, or Milan, who've got such a ridiculous history there. You kind of overlook Inter. Inter would have more than Manchester United. Will have more than Chelsea.
More what?
If they were to win today, they'd have more European Cups than Manchester United.
I'm not just saying it. I would not overlook Inter.
No, this will be 3.
This
is 3.
Nah,
This will
before.
be 4th.
You sure?
Yeah, they done back-to-back in the
They're already
60s.
on 3.
Oh,
So this would be their 4th.
right.
That's nuts. You don't. Like Lukaku's on for Dzeko.
When you talk about heritage, the way you briefly mentioned earlier on, like just R9 alone rocking that jersey, I would never overlook Inter. He was just unbelievable there.
But he's not playing.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's like going.
But they are
United today. They've had George Best, but
I would just when I think of football history, like Inter's not a team. No, there's other teams that I would overlook.
Like if they were
say
playing
Benfica
Napoli
or something,
they haven't got that Champions League heritage.
Yeah, and also like when you think about some of the players that have played for Inter, like it's proper icons, isn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, Eto'o, Ibrahimovic was there.
Christian
Jurgen Klinsmann was
Christian
there.
Vieri.
Yeah, Jurgen Klinsmann was there.
Roberto Carlos was there.
Dennis Bergkamp was there. Yeah, Zamorano was there. Vieri,
Zanetti.
Christian Vieri. Adriano.
Yeah.
Oh, Adriano, Pro Evo. What a player.
Mate. Just forget Pro Evo, just Adriano. He was
Yeah,
unreal.
true. Fair.
I remember when he was at Parma, because they owned him. I think Parma and Inter owned him at the same time. And he scored some real goals with them as
the
well.
story of Parma is so interesting. They just sort of came out of nowhere. They'd never been in the top flight before. They then went on to create that amazing team. They beat Arsenal in
They had Ravanelli, didn't they? Is that where he...
No, it wasn't Ravanelli. It was Crespo. Have you not seen
Crespo, they had Varane.
Lilian Thuram.
They had Cannavaro at centre back.
Varane was
do you know who else they had? They had Buffon and goals.
Yeah.
Yes.
They were some team. I think they might have had Ancelotti as their manager as well.
It was an amazing team who sort
of... In 99,
and now they're back
they
in
won
Serie
the
B.
UEFA Cup.
And they're back in Serie B now. Like they've spent their whole time in Serie B.
Oh my God.
Oh God!
You've got to make this count. You've got...
Oh, he's shot.
Oh, what is he doing? You've got to pass the ball.
Man City are nervous.
Huge mistake there. If you're not watching the game, guys, I assume you are. But if you're not watching the game, the City goalkeeper and defender
This is
have
a
had
disaster now.
The ball's been picked up by Martinez. That's a foul on Foden.
That's the most Italian yellow card I've ever seen. He was always taking him out.
The rest of the teammates.
Inter Milan
that
tackle was pure frustration because Inter Milan should have scored.
Yeah, Borelli's fuming because he didn't pass. Like, that's what's going on there. Borelli's gone and hacked Foden down because Martinez did not
He
swear
was pretending that was Martinez.
Yeah. Oh, show us a replay at a chance.
Oh, he got the ball. It's a foul, but he's got a nick on the ball.
Here we go. What happened here?
No, I think
Akanji just didn't even look.
Bernardo Silva played it to Akanji. Akanji left it.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Lukaku.
It's
on the edge. Look on the edge.
It would have been a difficult chance for Lukaku, but he had the guy on the back.
on the edge though.
Yeah, the back on the edge. Oh. And if you're going to do that,
true legs.
You got to be deft there. You got to get under it.
Pep Guardiola. Are you okay, mate? He's showing Rory how to do it.
What a shame. What a shame. Come on, Lukaku. Come on, Inter.
Come on, bro. Do it for Megan.
Rory, some of the chat want to know, and everyone's thoughts really, on squad numbers. And Lukaku's wearing 90.
90.
Do you know what a stat I love? Sean Dyche at Burnley. He rolled out the 1 to 11. The most Brexit 11 we've ever seen. I think it might have only been Irish and British players as well. And it was 1 to 11. Left back number 3, right back number 2. Incredible. I love that.
I don't know why we don't just do that though. Like, I don't know why. Like, why isn't the centre half?
Yeah, like your number one goalkeeper has to be number 1. Yeah. For example, your centre back should be.
So, do you think though, game to game, whoever's the starting number 9 should be wearing the 9 that day, and there should be no like
like in the old
because
days.
It's not the same starting 11 every week, right?
No, because you want to own your number.
Okay, so then you don't believe that it should be 1 to 11 every week, unless you're going to just have each team have 11.
No,
players.
but you generally know who's going to be stuck. You should be able to look at your your team on paper with their shirt numbers and go,
Haaland should be number 9. Ederson should be number 1.
You know what I mean?
Whatever angle
I don't think
you put on
Ederson's
this,
number
right?
1, right? I think Ederson might be 30 something.
Lukaku being 90 is insane.
I guess Martinez is 9 and he just wants to have the.
But you know what
He
it
just
is
wants
now?
number 9 on
Players
his
want to
back.
make numbers their own.
Yeah.
And because players
It's
like
it's a
other
brand,
sports
isn't it?
and they
Yeah.
like NFL and they like basketball, like me, if you would have gave me number 90, I'd have told you, piss off. Am I reserved? What's going on?
Yeah,
Is there something wrong?
Yeah.
Like, have I done something wrong? But now people don't mind making numbers their own and making the jersey
But
their own.
90 doesn't even feel like if you're going to create you should be number 100.
Who was the first to go really out wild? Like, because Ronaldinho had 89.
Well,
didn't he?
the one plus 8 wasn't that? Is
That was
what it
Zamorano.
Yeah,
because he wanted the 9.
he wanted 9, so he made
That's
it 1
less
plus 8.
mad.
It's quite mad. You put a little plus sign
but
on tape.
18 is less mad.
He had to effectively vandalise his own because they couldn't do it properly, so he would put the plus.
They had to manufacture a plus sign.
Yeah.
You said that the game being open suited City. I reckon this is Guardiola's worst nightmare playing out right now. With the way it's turning slightly into a basketball game. Like, I think Guardiola wants control. Like, Guardiola doesn't mind them sitting in. Like, this can't be what Guardiola
No,
wants.
not now. I agree with you, not now. And also the fact that his metronome, like the dictator of Kevin De Bruyne, is no longer on the pitch is a disaster for him as well. Because Kevin De Bruyne is he's the rhythm, isn't he? He's the person that dictates the tempo.
Him and Rodri, for sure.
De Bruyne will increase the tempo where necessary, and he will take the sting out of the game where necessary.
Look, I know there's still a long way to go.
That's not a City
Inter
ball.
deserved to win this game so far. No, you don't get what you deserve. But like, if they didn't, this game hasn't gone how we expected. Is what
That's
I'm
not.
trying to say.
What's going on here? That's not a City ball.
There hasn't been any clear-cut chances. I know you could say the Martinez was half chance, couple of
And
half.
Haaland
It
early.
was offside,
Haaland
though.
had one.
It
Was he offside?
Yeah.
The
Close.
one that the keeper saved.
Oh, sorry.
No, yeah.
Sorry. Excuse me. Yeah, apologies. Play it.
Over the top.
Even like these little Foden's done.
It's
Ooh.
nice.
Even
nice.
them little movements there, they're doing really well.
Man on.
Played.
I think here's
Oh, Martinez,
Oh, no.
pillock.
big rom time.
I think
Come
Ron's
on. Look
movement's
at her
helping him
queuing
as
up
well.
in there now. Come on.
You know,
Nothing wrong with launching it in.
no one expected this.
Bit of movement. They're not moving. Look at the 3 static players in the box. Totally static. Not look.
Yeah.
This must be
They're
tactical,
just
right?
waiting for a cross.
No movement at all.
Go on, he's on fire.
Yes.
Oh. Yo, someone.
Yeah, he's on it.
Cheers.
Come on. I'll just see because he had to do that. So this is on BT Sport. So is this not on terrestrial telly?
It's on YouTube as well.
You can
BT
watch
Sport
right.
put it on their YouTube for free.
Right. I was going to say this has to be accessible.
Yeah, it is.
Isn't it mad that Guardiola signed Phillips to be the successor and backup to Rodri, and he's just like, I'm just going to make John Stones midfielder
Yeah, I
instead
know.
of playing him.
I know.
Shows you how bad he must have been.
Yeah.
Phillips
It shows you how
and
brilliant. Shows you how brilliant Guardiola is though to like redefine footballers.
No, but I mean in the sense that you've bought a player for 50 mil and he's
Yeah. What's happened
just
there?
a dud.
What's happened there?
Fat all the time.
Do you think it's just a dud? Do you actually think that?
He did come
I
back.
think he's
he
seen him
came
in
back
training and be like-
overweight, right?
Also, you've got to. It's like everyone spoke about Grealish not getting what Pep did. Grealish, it works fucking hard, bro.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to work hard and roll your sleeves up, and look, I could be assuming things about Phillips, but from the outside looking in, without the inside knowledge, feels like he hasn't got the graft that Pep would want.
The big difference for Grealish, I think, that people talk about him, myself included, not being as good last year. I think it's just he has a striker to pass the ball to now. Grealish was like a false
And
nine
it
and
does,
stuff
take, it
last
does
year.
take a lot of time, doesn't it, to learn the Guardiola. Like, it's such a particular way of playing football.
There was a
This
super
is-
chat
see,
there
this
that
is
said
bad
that
news.
is-
No one's reading that super chat
This-
out because we don't want to jinx anything.
This is really bad news for City. Look, it's becoming a fight now. John Stones is getting involved in all these sorts
I'll
of...
read it out. If City had Kane, they would be winning by now.
Yeah, they would.
Because
But they don't
Haaland's
have
in
Kane.
We're
no
preempting the
man form.
Haaland. Good.
No,
Stop,
no, no.
Stop.
It's fine.
It's not.
Fine.
Are you that superstitious?
No.
No, sometimes I go, what is what I tweet? How is it what I tweet?
Mate,
And
I-
affect anything? You know, like when people go, why are you jinxing things? Like, that's what I tweet to them back. But I'm actually superstitious.
No, but people... You're not. Like,
Do you have any superstitions in your own life, Rory?
no.
What about you? You play poker. Do you have any Do you have a little card
No, nothing.
cover or anything?
Nothing at all.
Because
Card
you
holder?
know why? Because you're not an idiot.
I would have bet my entire life savings that you were a man who only put his left sock on before his right or something. I would have bet like that. You look at when you're playing poker, you look at one card before the other. I would have bet so much money.
He's so amateur. He looks at the first one for the second one.
Yeah, I do that. I do that because it's exciting.
I do that.
It's exciting. This could be an ace. This could be an ace.
I do it as well.
I'm not going to wait until Christmas Day to open my presents. I want to know now.
Those people that every hand they look when it's their action. I don't know how they got the patience. Like, I need to look. I'll pretend to look.
Oh, no. I'm not waiting either.
Do you look one at a time when they...
straight away. Give me the card. I'm having a look.
Yeah, so do I.
Absolutely.
Wait, did you say it was amateur to look one at a time? Is it?
I felt like people don't do that.
I play live poker recreationally. You guys are more serious live poker players than me.
What are you saying? We're better than you live? What? What is it? Say that again?
I can't say that. It's documented well. It's a YouTube channel that's not the case for me. But you can definitely pretend that's the case.
We're going to play live poker at some point, Adam.
Does what do you do? Do you wait for them to both land in front on?
I try to.
But if you try to,
impatience normally gets me.
Without getting too in depth into poker strategy, it is said that you probably want to have a little look before everyone's looking at you. You don't want to see your first time seeing the cards when all eyes are on you. Because then you could give it away.
Yeah. Also, it's impossible to look at me and discern anything because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So how on earth are you supposed to know what I'm doing? You
look stressed, whether you're bluffing, you've got it, you haven't got it. Like, just everything, you look stressed. You look same. Oh, I'm not getting no fucking cards here. Or you look like this. Oh, fucking, I've got aces here. How do I max? Like, every hand is the same action. Like, oh, 7 deuce again. Fuck. Oh, got kings now. Oh, shit.
Is Pep more likely to leave if they win or lose? I don't think Pep can go anywhere. Like, where can Pep go?
I agree with you.
I just got one suggestion for you and your people at Stars, by the way.
Go for it.
Can you put an "Are you sure" when you got kings? Because I accidentally folded them once.
No.
You know, you just used to folding.
Are you sure?
It needs to say,
no, but it'd be so
sure?
annoying. Are you sure?
It's like on blackjack when they go, are you sure you want to hit on 18?
No, but no. No, God, no. Please, God, no. Oh, no.
It's a goal. It's Rodri. Another crucial goal for Rodri.
It's always Rodri.
He's scored the Champions League winning goal for City. Huge goal, really, because they've not been in this game as much as Inter. He was free on the edge of the box there. I need to see the goal again. We're just seeing the highlight, the celebrations at the moment. These twats.
How does he always arrive on the edge of the box to those?
Could them scenes? Fucking hell. Just winning the European Cup, lads.
Any chance of an offside somewhere?
Nah, no chance. Yeah, no chance.
Where's a...
They were looking for a handball.
Oh, it's quite lucky, isn't it?
Hit his hand. That's gone past 2 defenders there. Is it Darmian and Kalanoglu? You've got to be better there.
It's a grey finish, though.
You've got to be better there, though. Kalanoglu, I think, and Darmian. You've made yourself smaller. I know you can't put your arms out, but you can put your knees out. You can put something else out. They've made themselves smaller.
Oh, God, what a shame. What a nightmare.
I don't think it's over.
I think it's over.
I don't think it's over.
I hope you're right, Finton, but I don't.
This ends 3-0 City now.
Oh, dear.
But it is 1-0 to Manchester City. There's 21 minutes to go plus extra time. Injury time. If you're not subscribed already, subscribe. We got loads coming up for you guys over the summer as well. This is the last game of the season today. But still plenty more coming, plus a new podcast on Monday. Buvey's in Turkey at the moment, enjoying themselves, I'm sure. Probably going to come back like a new man, new hairline, new teeth, and a treble in the bag. The absolute wanker.
If I was needing it, I'd be straight over to Turkey.
For the teeth or the hair?
Oh, the hair.
Yeah, I don't know if I got.
Man, you've nothing to worry about. You've got an extremely strong hairline, don't?
Oh yeah, it's hanging in there at the moment, but I think when it goes, it'll go quick.
Oh, get in! Oh my God, get in! Oh my God! Rom has saved it. Big Rom has just stopped the equaliser.
Oh my God! So
Lukaku literally just blocked the shot.
I think Inter have had a header come back off the bar. Who was that? Who's dyed his hair?
DeMarco.
He come back out to Beppe DeMarco, and he's hit his second attempt into the back of Lukaku. To be fair, Lukaku couldn't do much about it, but
Oh my God. Oh,
I don't know if it was going in anyway.
that was 100% going in.
No, but there's a player behind Lukaku. Now watch Ruben Diaz now is behind Lukaku as he don't let that go in.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe
Maybe he gets caught up in between his legs, you don't know, but I don't feel like
Diaz is unbelievable on the line.
that was going in.
Chance though, it's
But
definitely
it
not
is one
dead.
of them, again, the memeable moments of Lukaku
Oh,
blocking one of those shots.
I feel like Lukaku gets a hard time. When he's in the right system, he's a good scorer. He just
Yeah.
wasn't suited to England. Like once
He's suited to England, but not to a team that's trying to play attractive football.
when teams sit in against him.
I think that header there is too much, though. Why have you gone so high?
Oh, what does he do? Just put a bit of power in bottom corner?
Yeah, it's got.
It's hard when it's looping like that to get the power though.
Yeah.
The Inter Milan fans look deflated. That is the big chance.
Because
you're not
that's
going
what I mean.
You're not going to get massive chances against City. Like you're going to get 1 or 2 per
and that
game.
was a 2-in-1. You know what I was saying when I said at 0-0 they feel like they're winning.
Akanji's
At
coming
1-0
off,
it
and I'm not
already feels
surprised.
like they've lost.
Akanji's had a couple of moments in this game. I guess maybe just a big step up for him. Walker coming on for the final 15, 20 minutes. It's pretty insane that City have the ability to bring a £50 million right back on as a substitute in a Champions League final to try and shore it up. Inter Milan just can't compete with that financially. Not to, obviously, bring it up at this stage, but it's tough.
Inter have played really well as well. Excuse me.
Rory Jennings getting the lowdown. He's lucky he wasn't here. Would have had a meltdown. Mate, big chance. Another big
We
chance
go.
coming.
Send him in.
Heartbreaker.
Oh, fucking hell. Lukaku's gone straight at the keeper.
The Manchester City players have been there and won most stuff, but they've never won the European Cup. No one in that squad, right, has won the European Cup.
No.
Who would have?
Nobody.
They can't have. So they might begin to feel this pressure. They're only human.
They will feel pressure.
They will. It's just so will Inter now. And I think the game plan is up the creek a bit.
You missed a chance there where they hit the bar with a header, looping header, and then it come back to the same player. He had another attempt and he hit into the back of Lukaku, who was like 4 yards out.
Do you think it was going in if Lukaku didn't block?
Ruben Diaz was behind him, but it could be one of them where it gets caught up in your legs and still goes in, but I think he would have cleared it.
The ref's done a good job of letting the game flow very well. Like there's been a lot of little niggles that have been let go.
Ooh.
Come on.
Inter are flying into some of these challenges,
Flying
aren't
in.
they?
Yeah, it's getting a bit.
Like they're like, I'm going to meet that man there. If they get the ball, it's cool. If I, oh my God.
Come on, Inter. Oh.
Take a touch there, man. Yeah, is that Barella? One of those.
You do feel like there's going to be one more chance, don't you, for Inter? Like there's going to be,
Yeah, a big
there is
chance.
going to be that moment. It's whether they take it or not.
Or have they just had it?
Yeah, potentially. Although 15 minutes left, I feel like there's going to be something else. What a shame. It's sort of quite a soft goal to concede. It felt very preventable.
Especially with so many people on the line.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They had enough men back. Take the ball off him, for God's sake.
I think Bernardo Silva might be the hardest player to tackle
Dispossessed.
one-on-one. Like he is utterly
The way that he just
ridiculous.
uses his body, the way that he just
He's
drops
not
his
even
shoulder.
quick. He just walks past people.
Amazing player, isn't he?
Yeah. Technically, if I was making a five-a-side team from the Premier League, I don't know anyone else that we put in, but Bernardo Silva is in a five-a-side team without a doubt.
Yeah, agreed. I think he's amazing. I think his name should actually be mentioned. You know, when people talk about Ballon d'Or and that.
It's hard though because
think
he does a
he's
lot of the unnoticed stuff.
Yeah, I know, but you know, sometimes players get recognition. Sometimes, in my opinion, they don't deserve that recognition. You know, like Jorginho got a nomination, didn't he?
Yeah.
Ended up finishing third. I just think that Bernardo Silva is undoubtedly up there.
Is Walker on or not? It's
It's coming on now.
been there for ages. So who's coming on here for Inter?
DeSantis.
Bastoni's coming off.
And
Inter never miss with a kick, do they?
Goosens and who else coming on?
don't know.
Dumfries is coming off. They haven't shown who's coming on.
Do they not know?
There we are.
Him.
I don't even know who he is. So that helps.
He's on anyway.
Bellanova.
Oh,
Mate, I don't remember him.
come on.
Class him.
Bellanova. Beautiful night.
You will know his name if he fucking scores. Yeah, come on, you beauty.
This, all of my energy has been sapped with that Rodri
Yeah,
goal.
the level's been brought down a little bit. The
Tone.
belief that you guys had for a little bit there was beautiful.
Yeah.
This
There
is
was,
where
there was a
Grealish is
moment
playing.
where I actually thought this is going perfectly. I thought there is a chance here. And then City did what City do.
Inter had to get the first goal, man. I don't see. Nah. 14 minutes to go, though. We'll find out.
Just do they have it in them? Just enough to
injury time.
rouse and force one opportunity. Just go long. Get it in the box. Put them under pressure.
Sound like Jackie Charlton in his prime at Ireland.
Yeah. We're on the watch with Jackie Zombie. Come on.
Man City starting to look a little bit more like themselves, pinging the ball around, keeping it, frustrating them. Like, this is what I thought the whole game would look like.
Yeah.
Oh, what
Oh
a
my
turn,
God,
guys.
Foden.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's a foul off the ball, surely.
Mate, Foden just
The
had
turn from
a
Foden.
one-on-one chance to get a
Mate,
goal in.
Foden had the opportunity
score
there
that
to make
once he's in.
himself like that's immortal as well. If you score a goal like that
Once
in a
he's
Champions
in.
League final, you know the spin like that. You
It
know
was
the way some Champions
beautiful.
League final goals live forever, don't they? That would have been one
Yeah,
of those.
He needs to go
Especially as the local boy.
near post. Yeah. He's
Never.
the only, like, organic thing they've got.
That would have been like the immortal goal. You score a goal like that, it's played in every montage before every. It's like he's up there. Then he becomes like
Yeah, you don't need to do another
just
thing.
one of those players. Yeah,
Although Kai Havertz does it. You hate him.
yeah. It's a special. He's the exception that proves the rule. Yeah. Also, it was scrappy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If you score a goal like that, it's suddenly Zidane or Milito,
Yeah,
isn't
no,
it?
that
It's
would've
like
been a great
proper.
goal.
Silva's really turning on the footwork, isn't it?
Definitely look a little
Inter
bit
might
more
not touch the
confident.
ball again, yeah.
This is the problem, isn't it? Once they get on the ball like this and look, Inter are knackered. They've got no reason to force it. They're just finding the man in space all the time. Just pass to the man in space. How are you going to get the ball off them? It's just exhausting chasing like this as well. Absolutely exhausting.
Here we go, Rory. Get it long. Get it long.
This is it. Go on. Nice.
Ooh, good
A
flick on.
good touch.
Right, come on. A bit of urgency, mate.
Oh, Jesus
That'll do.
Christ.
That'll
Gotta get up earlier than that, though, but
Yeah. That'll do.
Show us that Phil Foden spin again. I need to see it.
Oh.
They keep showing us the
What?
miss.
Yeah,
I want to see the
from
spin.
from the worst
You know
part
what?
of it.
It's Phil Foden is an incredible.
Watching the club, are you?
Just checking it was on.
Foden's such a good finisher that is a big miss.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
it was
agreed.
near
Left
post,
foot,
left
like-
foot. Yeah, open up that left foot. I mean, I've got
Right, come on.
left foot.
Quality delivery.
They're not even meeting the ball or nothing.
About again. Get it out wide again. Right, go again. Come on.
Just gotta do something here.
Oh, that's
Fucking
terrible,
hell.
mate. No, come on.
What
Why
are you
would,
idiots doing,
why would
man?
you shoot from there? Ah, it's coming crashing down, isn't it?
Mm.
It really is.
It is a disappointing goal for Milan, isn't it?
Oh, it's
It
so
just feels
it's so
simple.
avoidable
So
that goal.
preventable as well.
Yeah.
You should have someone on the edge.
Rodri gets so many of those goals at the edge of the box.
Yeah.
Keeper hasn't moved. To be fair, it was such a good effort he couldn't. But one of those defenders has to block that.
By the way, do you boys know about Rodri and like how he lives and everything else?
No.
Very
He's like a
in a
very
life of luxury.
no. He's a basics man, and he doesn't have social media, nothing. Like he's just one of those who's just detached.
Good for him. That would be my dream. Oh, no.
I reckon he does. He has a burner
Eh.
account.
Nah.
I reckon Pep and Klopp and those have burner accounts. Like they're in there saying
Pep's
it.
always talking about
He
Twitter.
references it quite a lot, doesn't he?
Does he?
What did he say before? He said something that was like
He was getting a lot of heat
Twitter
on Twitter.
quote,
Yeah.
and he said it like, he said it in a press conference. What was it now?
Do you know what it was? I think it was when he took Haaland off when he'd got 4 goals in the Champions League, and it was the reference to prevent Messi.
Like, I'll tell you
Messi's
now,
record.
Haaland and Pep both know about you. 100%. Pep monitors social media. 100%.
That's
what
pretty
was it
mental
now?
to think about, isn't it? That Haaland's probably giggled at your goal prediction from the start of the season.
Yeah, 100%. Or that you're probably the reason he's got 52 goals. And if so, you're a prick. Look what you've done to us.
You're at least 1% responsible for this treble.
They should get me on a payroll.
Do you know what I think happened there, by the way Walker was coming on? I think Guardiola saw the subs that Milan were making and he called it. And I don't like that. You've said you're making your sub and then Milan have reacted and now you've cheated.
And then he sat him back
I
down.
actually think we're going to have this game null and void.
I agree.
Yeah, null and void it.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll have to do that after 115 charges.
What
innit?
happens to John Stones here?
I think someone gets their
Shirt.
jersey ripped right
Yeah,
open.
it's Stones, but it's just a fall out.
How's his shirt ripped there?
Might have, I don't know.
All right, thanks. That's the picture you want, though, isn't it?
What?
On the-
Shirt ripped.
The Warrior.
Champions League final,
Yeah.
shirts ripped.
Yeah, it
tight
looks
head.
like you've left nothing out there.
May as well do what them old school wrestlers do and just blade your own head.
Yeah.
Just have some blood
Yeah.
pouring out as well.
Yeah.
Ooh, Kyle Walker straight into it.
Kyle Walker on
Ooh.
would be mint.
Bringing on Kyle Walker in this situation is just just ideal, isn't it?
I mean, Lukaku's going to get free, and then you're just going to see Kyle Walker
Come sliding across, yeah.
They've taken over possession now as well, which is
Yeah.
because Inter were having a lot of comfortable possession, weren't they? Like playing with it in front of Manchester City.
They're really struggling now, Inter, aren't they? Can't get any sort of possession going on.
I hate these kind of pitches. You know?
Yeah, it's the
Look how
distance.
distant.
Yeah.
Such a big distance away from the crowd.
Yeah, huge bench. Like in terms of like the area out the front as well,
Is
technical
this?
area.
I know it's in Istanbul. Is this exactly the same stadium? as
Yeah,
Liverpool won it in?
Ataturk, yeah.
Not just because we beat you 2-0, but being at Stamford Bridge a few months ago, I have to say, it's actually like the feeling of being above the pitch.
Yeah.
Like when you're in the upper tier, it's amazing.
Oh, yeah, it's a perfect ground, Stamford Bridge. It's a beautiful
You
stadium.
got a good away.
Small.
Yeah.
It's small, but that's part of its beauty. It's old and it's in the proper area. You know,
I
the
love it,
problem-
man.
Yeah, if you were to try and like redesign or rebuild Chelsea,
The ball there.
you would never be able to do it where it is. It's in the heart of Fulham. It's right by Fulham Broadway Station. Like that's where we belong. It's amazing. But if we were to do it again, we'd end up having to do what Middlesbrough have done, as Stoke have done, as Southampton have done, and build out on the outskirts. Horrible.
No, I don't like the new stadiums anyway.
No,
The old stadiums.
they're all
Wembley's-
the same, aren't they?
Not got it, man.
They're just
I
the
don't-
same.
It's still cool to walk down Wembley Way. I've only been lucky enough to
That
do it
is-
once when we played Man City in the League Cup final.
I was fortunate enough to go to the old Wembley.
I got offered a ticket when we played Chelsea in 2000, and my football team were playing, and my dad, as a 9-year-old, gave me the choice. We had to win or we didn't win the league. He was like, do you want to go
Yeah.
to the Villa Cup final or do you want to play your team or don't let anyone down? So I stayed. We won the league and Villa didn't win. So
Yeah, mate. I hate those new. I do hate the like new identical stadiums.
everyone talks about Spurs Stadium being great, but it's just a copy and paste of every other stadium.
No, they've got one thing right though. They've got one tier.
The fake noise.
The one tier thing. You know that like they've done their own version
Kop.
of the Kop.
yeah.
Yeah, they've done that right. But no, generally speaking, like they're identical, aren't they?
Villa Park is
What we used
the best
I
stadium.
remember we used to sing that. You go, this could be Sunderland or Middlesbrough, Southampton or Hull, because all your grounds look the same. They just can't feel like home. It's just dry. It's like so.
Yeah, that's kind
There's no
that's
history
why I
there
want
as well.
I want United Stadium to be improved and expanded or whatever, but I want it to be this stadium.
Yeah, of course.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Make this stadium better. We don't need
Because it's got the
brand new-
history. It's got the connection. It's like it's what matters. It's what matters to the people that go. It's so important for the memories of people. Like underneath the penalty spot at the shed end, Peter Osgood, like our best ever player, his ashes are under the penalty spot. You know, you can't get that in a brand new stadium like that you model from IKEA.
I'll tell you one thing. The Inter goalkeeper.
Come on.
Beautiful pass.
Go on, Henrik.
Come on. Oh, it doesn't have to be that.
Who's going to stick their head on that?
It's
Give him a fucking migraine anyway.
He's drilled that across. Like, he's drilled it across like you would have shot.
He's shot
and
it.
he's shot it 8 foot in the air. Oh, God.
Do you think if you're Phillips or if you're maybe Alvarez to a lesser extent, do you think you really feel the enjoyment of winning this Champions League?
Alvarez, you do.
Yeah.
Alvarez has contributed massively to their season. He scored about 20 goals. Like,
no. Alvarez wasn't a fair share.
Alvarez, you do. Phillips depends on your character, doesn't it? If you're the type of person...
If you're John Terry getting in the kit.
If you're... Well, John Terry did... Yeah, getting in the kit.
John Terry did more for Chelsea than Phillips has done for England.
Obviously, of course.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
but it's still funny
I've ridiculed John Terry for that forever, but...
It's still funny to get in the kit. No, I'm not trying to compare it.
In terms of, it would be a personality thing.
Yeah.
Like, I personally wouldn't. I wouldn't be able to enjoy it. Like, you just know.
But then, like, a lot of these people, like, for example, Calvin Phillips would be... He spent the whole year with these guys. Training with them every single day.
Do you take a medal?
The kit man enjoys it, right?
Yeah, you'd enjoy it as friendship, but in terms of your contribution...
Are you calling yourself a Champions League winner?
Yes, but you don't dine out on that.
Would you say I'm a Champions League winner, asterisk?
Do you take a medal?
Yeah,
Trust me, David May thinks he's a Champions League winner.
David May played.
No.
Do you... Realistically, I think it's going to be a personality trait, isn't it? There are some players that will just embrace it and make it their thing, or there are others that
also some players are happy being a squad player, and that's all they're going to be. So you kind of have to shut up and just accept
but Phillips hasn't even like being a squad player. You've contributed. Like if you come on for 2 minutes tonight, you've contributed. Like Calvin Phillips, he just has not contributed to their season. Their season would go exactly as it's gone with or without him.
I think you can say that about so many players in the City team, though. That's Rory, the thing. They're just such a...
Sorry, Rory, you'll like the story about... do you know what Arnautovic did?
Go on.
So he was at FC Twente, went on loan to Inter. They won the Champions League, but he only played 3 games in the whole season. But when he went back on from when his loan finished, he had like Champions League winner on his boots.
Yes!
I do quite like that.
I'd do that as well.
See what I mean? Though, it's a personality
like
thing.
I have
Thierry
won 2
Henry
Champions
embrace
League.
it.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I've won 2 Champions League. So has he?
Yeah. Make them our own.
Here we go. Is this a little bit like Rory's #1 in the UK charts?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
We sang about it from the stand, so therefore...
Yes!
It's over the line.
He's missed again!
That had to be over the line.
Is that Lukaku? Do you know what? I was in
Check
Qatar.
your watch, ref.
I was in Qatar and I was at the game it was Belgium against Croatia,
He
where
best
he
not
just
leave
missed
Turkey, bro.
everything.
You got to stay. You don't go back to Milan.
He's missed again.
That ain't safe for you at Milan no more, bro. You just missed. The last one weren't his fault. The last one was not his fault.
He's just missed it. I mean, you can't ask for a better chance than that. You just cannot. Oh, well, that's not a flick on, is it, mate?
But that right there, mate, that's the best chance of the game.
Yeah, it's over. That's the chance I was talking about. 15 minutes ago when we said hypothetically, is there a chance?
Oh, that's
he's actually found the keeper. He's actually found the keeper. Like, impossible to get to the keeper there. I just can't believe it.
Oh my God, John Stones he scored an own goal as well, was it? Or was it Diaz?
He's gone. I just need to get this on target, hasn't he? He's not even thought about placing it or nothing. But you've got to know the keeper's coming back.
I can't believe that. Mate, honestly, the game in Qatar,
I can't imagine
where I
how
watched Lukaku. Honestly, I watched Lukaku. I watched Lukaku in Qatar just miss chance after chance after chance, and it was the end of that Belgium team. You know, the De Bruyne Courtois team. It was the end of
Hazard.
it, and he just missed and missed and missed and missed. And I thought, it's not possible. It's not possible to miss like this. And they're on about him coming back to Chelsea. Going to score now.
No, he has to.
He has to. Oh, he's fucking. Turn him over.
Dzeko misses his 2 chances. Takes those 2 chances.
Definitely takes the first one.
Left the stadium.
Who left the stadium?
I'm joking. Megan Thee Stallion left the stadium.
Oh yeah, she's on the way to the studio.
Oh, that's utterly heartbreaking.
He's a flipping idiot.
He's
a flipping idiot.
The thing is with Lukaku, he's just not that guy, is he? He's just not this level of footballer. Oh my God, it's a sitter.
Valverde scores that.
It's an absolute... It's harder to find the keeper. It's harder to find him. The keeper hasn't saved that at all. It's just hit him.
He could have volleyed it.
No, headers to play, but
You
you
could have
just
done anything. Bundle yourself onto the ball and in the net. Like
5
do
minutes
anything.
of added time. 5 minutes
Yeah,
to
it
stop
was
Manchester
they could have
City
55
from
Yeah,
winning
It's
a
over.
treble.
They will now
Romelu
know as
Lukaku
well.
ain't
Their
scored.
fans and they're lovely feet. And
I've read that keeper plays some
Yeah.
beautiful football.
Keeper's been mint, by the way.
Yeah, he'd do
All
well in
day
the Man
he's been
City
doing
team.
that, playing out from the back.
Honestly,
Are Manchester United upgrading a keeper, or is that not on the cards?
If we're not winning anything serious. Like United can't. We won't challenge for a league or Champions League with David De Gea and goal.
Need someone that can play from the back.
Not even just that. It's like forget the
needs to be
playing
able
out
to
from the
catch
back.
the ball.
Like
Maybe come out for a corner every now and then.
Like Gundogan's goal, second goal. What? How's that going in?
Yeah, it's not great.
Like we've United fans got this thing at the minute. You see a montage of someone saying goodbye to their player on Twitter, and everyone has a David De Gea mistake in it. It's mental. Like some strikers left, but there's a David De Gea mistake.
Inter Milan ball. Oh, it's very greedy.
Mate, that was
another
remember
chance.
when you said that's the chance is coming.
that was it.
Spin and gone.
Don't get involved in anything silly right now.
If I was Lukaku, I'd only want to go in the changing rooms after. Why are you arguing, you idiot? Hurry up!
Fair point.
Innit?
He's after wasting 30 seconds. Like,
bruv. Referee's going to not add that on. How do you, bruv? If I was Lukaku, I'd have walked off the pitch, you know. How do you...
He's just...
His brain must be...
Mate, he did it for Belgium.
hazy.
Mate, he did it for Belgium. He ended. He had 6 chances that day. And then he's missed that.
in fairness, I don't think
How
Haaland
did
did a
Haaland
whole
get
lot
booked
there.
for that?
No, but no, Haaland
Little
got
trip,
booked for
was
the
it?
initial thing. For the initial...
Not much in it.
Keeping the ball away. The reason why the keeper was fuming is
Ooh,
because...
chance. Haaland
Ref's
gives
just
away
giving
free kick.
whoever calls the loudest now is getting it. You know, the decision.
I can't believe Lukaku, man. I just cannot.
This is it.
City should actually get a banner of him
2.5
up. City fans
minutes.
should have
They
a
will.
banner of Lukaku.
Have him in a United shirt as well.
Yeah.
Last chance for Inter Milan. Please put the ball somewhere in the box.
It's got to be a good delivery.
It's not a good delivery. It's not even a good shot. Use like that. Bombs, mate.
He's done that a lot, bro.
Today. And he's been moaning at everyone out.
Been moaning, yeah.
Manchester City are about to win the treble. I've never seen Rory and Adam looking so dejected my entire life.
I mean, I'd feel a lot worse if it was Liverpool or Arsenal or Chelsea, to be fair.
If Arsenal or Liverpool won the treble,
It's like when Man City started splashing all the cash top bet, this was just a matter of time. Everyone said it. Like, maybe not the treble, but them winning the European Cup and all that.
Yeah.
Matter of time.
Yeah, there has been an inevitability about this. Like, it was always going to come.
scary thing is it
And-
might not
and-
slow down.
No, they won't slow down. No. They'll do something else. They'll break another record next year. They'll go for the Chelsea 15 goals conceded or the Arsenal Invincibles, or they'll go for a different record.
The thing is, they could easily get Invincibles if they weren't challenging for every trophy.
Yeah, that is
That's what
actually what
Arsenal
cost them. Yeah,
Did was stop challenging for all these trophies.
Ah.
Keeper there's just
fantastic by Ederson.
He's basically jumped up and caught the European Cup.
Mm.
That's what you need your keeper to do.
Lukaku's so low compared to everyone. Lukaku, like 4 players have gone up. Lukaku's the tallest of the lot, and he's the lowest of the lot.
Megan the Stallion has just unfollowed Romelu Lukaku.
I'll tell
Who-
you one
who
thing,
is
boys.
that?
I
I saw the
didn't
picture.
expect to come on here tonight and be
She's a
talking so much about Megan the Stallion.
So she's a rapper
Yeah.
called Megan the Stallion.
Yeah.
That sounds fucking horrible.
Mate, what are you trying to make there, you idiot? He scored one of the greatest goals I've ever seen. Mkhitaryan.
Come on.
Do it yourself, son.
Yeah,
trust
he's
me.
best player on the pitch.
Go on.
Lukaku!
At least jump up with him, man.
Do you know who, out of all the Manchester City players, I think I might like Ruben Diaz the most? He's no
Jack
nonsense.
Grealish.
Bernardo Silva.
You got to
That was
win
a
this,
nice
mate.
touch. You've got to. Don't fuck this up, mate. It's the entire hope.
There should realistically be another minute added on, but there
Oh,
won't be.
actual
That's a nice
chance.
pass.
Give it to him.
That's a nice pass. Come on now. That's crap.
One final corner. One last kick of the
Get
game
the
to
keeper
stop
up.
the
Get
treble.
the keeper up. This is it. Come on.
Schmeichel time.
Get the keeper up.
Huh?
What's Inzaghi doing? Where's the key?
I think they
one
might.
of his assistants or something?
I think they might be having disagreements on the keeper. Oh, I don't think there's ever been a goalkeeper's goal in a European Cup final.
You've got to get the keeper up and risk losing 2-0, haven't you? You just got to.
But this is it. It's 5.5 minutes into 5 minutes. This is the
keeper is
very last kick of the
They
game.
won't even have time to reach his goal.
No,
You know, if they get the ball.
this is it.
Oh! Oh!
Still there, is
He's
it?
actually saved him.
That's it.
It's over. Manchester City have won the
Game
treble.
over.
That was actually a good chance at the end there. I don't know. Keeper saved him. It's a huge save by Ederson. Manchester City have won the treble with a huge 115 asterisks next to it. But they have done it. Thoughts?
Gutted. A shame. I thought Inter did really well as well. And ultimately, one very preventable moment has cost them. I think they were doing everything that they hoped to do in the game. They were probably the better team in the first half. They would have been doing
Man
exactly what they
City
hoped to do.
didn't go out and win that, really. They weren't fantastic, but at the end of the day, they've done enough. And
What they didn't do was lose it, though. And I
No.
think today they were controlled. They were a little bit. There were times when Inter Milan were dominating the game. And I think they did enough just to get through. They lose Kevin De Bruyne. But Inter Milan, I thought,
they're excellent.
like, if I didn't know who the two teams were and I didn't expect Man City to win today, I'd have thought Inter were Man City. Inter were the favourites. Inter were the ones that we were expecting to win the treble because they had the chances today.
Ultimately, it comes down to fine margins, doesn't it? The Rodri chance was taken, and the Romelu Lukaku chance was completely and utterly fluffed. Like that's what the
All
game.
of them. 2, 3 of them.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Like that's what it is.
Rodri wasn't even a clear chance. Now it was a good chance in terms of like his ability outside the box, but like Inter Milan did not give away a lot. I feel like very unfortunate to not win the game.
They were very unfortunate to not win the game. Yeah, very unfortunate. But look, if you're going to miss chances against this Man City team or in any European final, you're playing in a European Cup final, it's going to be very difficult to win it. Chances are at a premium. Creating chances, finding opportunities is never going to be easy. If you end up with an open goal and you don't take it against the best team from England, against the double winners from England, you're not going to win the game. It's whatever review of this game you want to do. Ultimately, Romelu Lukaku missed the chance. Like, that's what it is.
Haaland wins the Champions League at the first time of asking with Manchester City.
And he hasn't really. I mean, he's changed their team. He scores a lot of goals, but towards the tail end, he hasn't really. His goals have dried up as well. It shows you everyone else has been chipping in. Rodri scored some crucial goals. Gundogan wins the cup on his own. So it's been a proper.
Played a
team.
massive part in the course of the season, of course.
No, massive. Yeah, Inter should have won that. I think Inter should have won that, and I'm surprised I'm saying that because I expected City to win 3-0. But all that matters is whose name's on the trophy, and it is Manchester City's.
They've done a treble. They've equalised their neighbours. The noisy neighbours are maybe now not the noisy neighbours. Maybe you are now a noisy neighbour, and they're the actual.
City will always be the smallest club in Manchester.
They're that geezer that won the lottery all the time at that time.
But you can't, Michael
And
Carroll.
bought loads of
Michael
sovereigns.
Carroll just walking
Yeah.
about swearing at everyone in a Rangers top.
That's Man City.
I don't think you can call them noisy neighbours anymore. You're now the noisy neighbour. You're there barking.
I don't care about what these lot do, man. Soulless. Soulless.
I can't believe it.
You got it as much as. Listen, I'm in the same boat.
I'd hate to see Liverpool, Arsenal.
A little bit of football dies with Manchester City winning the Champions League, but the way that they played the football and everything
I mean,
they've
you
done
can't
this
take
year,
away
it's
from what
been
the players have
utterly
achieved. I mean, the
incredible.
players on the pitch. I mean, the manager. You can't take away how good he is at what he does and how he coaches football and the football that he brings out. But
You put Pep Guardiola
Ultimately-
into Manchester United with the money that was spent in the last decade, you get the same results. 100%. 100%.
you know why I argue a little bit with that is because Pep doesn't. He has a big say, but he doesn't control signings. And City have managed
the
to
team
get
that they got
everything-
in was
like,
amazing.
City built this club for him. Before he got there, they were building
Yeah,
the
they
club for
brought in
him.
the Barcelona
The
background
academy,
team.
they were building it for him.
Yeah, you
But
don't
this
do
was
that.
inevitable.
You don't do that at a bigger club, do you?
Yeah.
Like you don't. Chelsea or Arsenal or Liverpool wouldn't design their entire being around a manager that could leave in 5 years. In 18 months.
He could be staying for a few as well, which I mean,
Mate, how's anyone going to get anywhere near them next season?
It's going to be extremely tough. I don't see any team in Europe at the moment with the way things are set. Maybe Madrid with the young players they're bringing in. The fact that they've added Bellingham to that midfield could be
I think
the
the
challenger.
Champions League's always a
No, I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but they're going to be heavy favourites for next year. Heavy favourites.
Finals at Wembley as well.
Oh,
The
wow.
best thing that could happen here is Haaland does an interview right now saying he's leaving.
Yeah, I'm going to Real Madrid.
Or Guardiola.
Guardiola leaving would be the big one for you.
Guardiola leaving.
There'll be a
Don't
rebalance
retire
in
your
English
big, bold
football when it
fraud.
finally happens.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, this has been terrible.
thank you for tuning in.
Thanks
One
for
of
having
the
me,
worst
boys.
days in
Thank you,
football.
Finton. Thank
People
you so
talk
much
about-
for coming on.
People talk about, live golf, killing golf. Man City have just killed football. Like that. Subscribe to the club. Subscribe to Addicted to Footy as well
Appreciate it.
on all the socials and on YouTube. And we'll see you soon. By the way, fuck Buvey.